It's your boy, the Ben Israel, the People's Champ, back with another live stream, January 7th, 2024. How y'all doing? Shalom, Israel. Shalom, black people. Shalom, you Negroes. How y'all doing today? Yeah, we back. We back. So, man, whoa, what we gonna talk about today? First of all, I need to apologize. I'm a couple of minutes behind. Trying to technical difficulties. That's what we're gonna call it. That's true, actually. I'm using an old device and a new device simultaneously, and they don't always flow smoothly with my 4G, with my 5G, and all. Whatever. Behind the scenes stuff. I've been playing with it for about 20 minutes, and finally I got it where I can manipulate it the way I want somewhat. So it's working. I'm gonna try not to touch it because this 4G. If I touch it, everything go haywire. So I got it sitting on the tripod right now, so I do not have to touch it. Oh man. Also, I apologize. I'm been a little bit under the weather the past week or two. For those of you who know, I have stage 5 renal failure. Okay, so my immune system is weak or weaker than the average person. So things hit me hard sometimes. Even a simple cold, it affects me. It affects me, and so that's kind of what it's been. I deal with it when I can. Sometimes I'll go 4 or 5 months strong on here with y'all. You never know anything is wrong, and then boom, all of a sudden I got a little cold and it shuts me down for 2 weeks. It happens. I deal with it. I've been dealing with it for the last 5 to 10 years strong. So that's my personal business. Just saying, I'm a regular person. I'm not superhuman. Things do affect me. I know a lot of us guys, we like to pretend that we're Superman and nothing affects us. I'm not that guy. Look, I got regular shit going on like everybody else. But I appreciate y'all being here with me. I am your host. You are on the People's Podcast. You're now tuned in. I am your host, the Ben Israel. I am simulcasting live on YouTube, the People's Podcast, V Ben Israel. You can find me on Facebook, Van Johnson Facebook. Don't find my father because my father's page is still alive, even though he's been dead. That is not me. My father, I think a lot of stuff what he put on his page when he was alive was the cool chef. That was his handler. So I know a lot of people find him and not me and think that's me because we look alike. The cool chef was my father, ladies and gentlemen. But some of you I know are on my Facebook page. I also have V Speaks. You can find me there. I am simulcasting to that one as well. I got a bunch of Facebook pages over the years. Not gonna get into all of those handles, but they're there. Yeah, man. What we gonna talk about tonight? It's funny. I got an inbox earlier today. Long-time follower say, "Yo," that's what it said. He said, "Yo, we want that old V back." And it kind of tickled me because I said that to another content creator about a year or two ago. No, I was actually talking to Angry Man, and I said, "Yo, we want that old AM back." He was like, "What you talking about?" It's like, "Yo, you being too nice lately." This is right before his channel exploded to the numbers he has today. I said, "Yo, I'm with you, brother, man. Stop letting these people frustrate you. We want that old AM back." And he must have heard something I said because we got that old AM back after that. So my subscriber must have been aware of that conversation that I had with Angry Man, and he said it to me today. So I'm gonna give y'all a little taste of that old V. So we're gonna have class today. That's what we're gonna have. So strap in, get your notes. So you want to take notes on this one. That's why I'm using two phones so I could access my notes because I want y'all certain things I want to highlight to y'all. Um, I've been listening, I listen a lot. And I was listening to a panel recently, and everybody is a Bible expert. These niggas don't know shit about the Bible. But everybody you talk to, I read the Bible, I know the Bible. Shut the fuck up. You don't know the Bible. And that's the problem with us black men. We can't admit we don't know shit. Or maybe somebody else knows more than we do. So what happens? What ends up happening is they result to try to lead with their wallets. Oh shit, I said it. A lot of y'all don't even have no money. That's what's funny about it. You get a couple of dollars, you know, and then you want to start leading with your wallet. And then you expect women to respond the way you want them to respond because you flashed a couple of dollars. Is that not strip club mentality? Ain't that how niggas who went to the strip club? I want the woman to respond a certain way, so I'm gonna drop some dollars on her head. It's the same thinking. That don't work. So we're gonna get into that a little bit later. I'm a monologue a little bit first, and then a little bit later, I probably will drop the link. I'm pretty sure I will because we're gonna do a little call-in show too. Like I said, I'm gonna try to go back to an old format that I used to do. So we're gonna monologue a little bit first. So stay with me. Yeah, I'm gonna piss some niggas off tonight, boy. There's something. Some of y'all gonna get pissed off. I don't give a shit. What's my hashtag, y'all? FYF. FYF is my hashtag. Fuck your feelings. I mean that shit. I mean that shit. So and then he's talking to some of y'all niggas gonna be, he's talking about me. And they gonna get any feelings, they gonna get salty. Some of you ladies gonna be, he talking about my man. And you're gonna get salty. I'm talking about a lot of y'all. This ain't directed at one individual. How many times have I said that in the last decade? Usually things happen in threes, for me anyway. And that's when I respond to it. I don't respond typically to individuals unless I'm talking to that individual. But I observe a lot of things and I see patterns in the force. Okay. I see a pattern in the code in the matrix. I see reoccurring patterns, and that's what I speak to. And some of y'all, you think you're so unique or special in your own minds. You're oblivious to you just a clone of somebody else, or you just operating on the same programming other people are operating on. You haven't freed yourself from the matrix, or you haven't been freed, let's say it that way. Yeah, but you're gonna get schooled today a little bit. Or you may not. Some of you, pride is the beginning of sin, the scriptures tell us. Pride is the beginning of sin. And y'all are knee deep in sin, neck deep in it. You don't realize you are, but your behavior says a lot. And I just sit back and watch. I don't say nothing. I just sit back and watch. And I've been doing a lot of that lately. But we're going to get into it, We're going to get into it. Those of you nerds out there, because I got my nerds out there, I dropped the start date for y'all too. So, of course, this is January 7th, 2024. I did give y'all the start date. It's in the description. So, that may make y'all happy. I take a little extra effort for y'all too. Y'all my peoples too. So if you follow along with the notes I left in the description, the first thing I'm going to talk about is death of a salesman. Death of a salesman. What does he mean by that? See, y'all don't understand what salesmanship is, what it truly means to be a salesman. There's a difference between a guy that's got a job at the car dealership. He's been doing that for 6 months and sold a couple of cars, versus a guy who's made a career out of it. He's been selling cars for 10 years. There's a difference between those two men. Different. Well, what I'm using cars and is this an example, but if you've done sales for 10 years or more, you are a salesman. It's a different level of somebody who just did sales as a job one time for a year, 6 months, different kind of experience. In any sales environment, let's say you got 100 salesmen. The top 10% of that sales force produces more than the bottom 90. This is always true. I don't care what kind of sales it is, in person, over the phone, cars, houses, it doesn't matter. If you have 100 salesmen, the top 10 are producing 90% of the profits. The bottom 90 are only producing 10% of the profit. Which has always been true. Still is today. So, if you've been in sales long enough, salesmen come and go. You buy a car from a guy, go back a year later, that same guy ain't selling cars no more. Then you got your salesman that he done sold everybody in your family a car. He done sold everybody on your neighborhood a car. That's a different level of salesman. Different level. Men in the same way. This is true with men. There's a difference between the top 10% of men and the bottom 10% of men. There is a big difference. Unfortunately, most people can't see the difference. You're not attentive enough. You're not honest enough with your own self to realize I'm not the same as that guy. There are books written on this topic, by the way. I mean, they've been studying this phenomenon for decades, for years, for centuries. There's a difference. So you got a lot of guys who try to emulate, talk slick, imitate mannerisms, but they're just not that guy. They're not that dude, and they never will be. Survival of the fittest, and some of you just aren't fit, and this is why you go after low-hanging fruit, as we call it here in modern vernacular. Low-hanging fruit, because that's all you're eligible for. Because the higher hanging fruits, right, they know the difference. It takes a certain level of skill to get to them, a certain level of effort to even be in their vicinity, right? You don't qualify for the higher shit, so you get lower shit. And you're barely good at getting the low shit. Y'all really getting the shit that done fell on the ground. That's what y'all really go after. Y'all ain't getting shit way up at the top of the tree because you ain't gonna put the effort in. You don't see the value. You see these type of men. This one this an apple just like the other one up there. Why should I climb up there? Okay, well, if that's what you think, then that's what you think. But don't be angry at your results. Right? Don't wonder why this guy over here who consistently climbs to the top gets better results than you. Yeah, because you picking up everything off the ground. You picking up his leftovers. You picking up what dropped to the ground as he was climbing them branches and fruit. The lower level fruit was just dropping down. Y'all understand this metaphor? This makes sense. I'm not really paying attention to comments. I'm scared to touch his phone. Let me try it. Let me try it. Uh-oh, wait a minute. I was gentle. Harmonize is in the house, of course. Number one moderator. She says with her signature, "Hey y'all." All right. What else does she say? My eyesight's a little jinky today, so bear with me. Oh shit! And this other phone ain't is magnified as my newer phone, so it's really. Ugh. Let's see. And I may switch. I may switch phones in a minute because I like my other phone better. I can't really read these comments. She says, "Please hit the like button upon arrival." You damn right. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Share to your socials. Y'all don't do that. Y'all hear me say this on 600 plus videos. Over a decade, I've been saying the same thing. I check the metrics. Every now and then I get a share. It gets shared. But a lot of y'all just lazy. Y'all ain't participating. Y'all ain't, maybe somebody else is gonna benefit from this shit. But we don't do that. We don't want to help each other. Maybe I'm saying something that's powerful to someone else. 6 degrees of separation, right? We're all connected. So me and you may be connected to a mutual person, but they only get to me through you. So if you don't share this thing that's good, the other person is missing out because you couldn't take 3 seconds to hit the share button. But y'all share all other kind of bullshit, cat memes and Jennifer the blonde cat and y'all, I mean, y'all share some of the stupidest shit, but you won't share brother man on here for hours. You know how hard this is? Everybody don't have this skill to do what I'm doing consistently. Even y'all favorite content creators, they can't do what I do consistently. Show me another content creator with over 600 live streams. Show me. No gimmicks. Just giving you bar after bar after bar. Show me another one. I could only think of a handful of them that can do what I do. I ain't doing clickbait. I ain't playing videos of Kendra G and Cynthia G and all of the other G's. Right? That ain't what I'm doing on here. I'm not repeating viral videos so I can go viral. I very rarely do that. Maybe a handful of times I've done that where I've quote unquote reviewed a video. What the fuck? The fuck is this? The hell is this? I got the potty mouth tonight. The hell is this? Shout out to Bishop Nathaniel, the general. Huh? Y'all don't know what y'all think y'all know. You're inadequate. You ain't skilled. You're just repeating shit that gets likes. That's all you're doing. Clickbait. And you can go back in their catalog, quote unquote. 2 years ago, they were doing the same exact shit. If they were even here 2 years ago. Just look at their last 10 videos. I very rarely repeat my topics. Very rarely do I do that. And I learned that from Chris Maverick. Some of you who follow me, I've mentioned that name before. Shout out to the GOAT, Chris Maverick. He reinvented this thing that we called selfies. Yeah? Very skilled photographer, black guy from Pittsburgh. Very good. and he did a picture a day. 365 movement was a picture a day for a year. Excuse me. Called it 365. It may sound easy enough, but when you start getting beyond 30 days, 50 days, 90 days, when you get into that realm, then your creativity has to show. If people were just following this guy, millions of people, early 2000s were following this guy because of how creative he was. We're doing just him and a camera, him taking a selfie of himself. Think about it, 90 days in a row. I don't know if Chris Maverick, what he's doing today, I haven't kept up with him in a while, but he was very popular on Flickr. So 15 years ago, 20 years ago, Flickr was kind of what YouTube is today. And but it was still photography. It wasn't videos, it was still photography back then. Chris Maverick. So I've always had that methodology. I know when I did my 365 campaign, I did it for about 7, 8 years in a row. A picture, a selfie a day. I did it for about 8 years straight. That shit is hard. To constantly be creative, to constantly do something new. How many different versions of yourself can you show somebody day after day after day? How many times can you change your hair? How many times can you lose weight or gain weight? I mean, all kind of things go into the thought process. So I try to bring that same methodology here when I started doing videos. I don't want to do the same shit over and over and over again. I mean, I like to follow the format, but so it's easy for you guys to recognize what's happening. But I want the content to be original. I want it to be unique. I mean, just think about a TV show. TV shows have like 10, 20 seasons. Some of the great shows, they're not showing you the same damn show every week. It's a different show. It's a storyline. It has continuity, but it's unique at the same time. So that's what your boy, the champ, the people's champion, tries to do for y'all. But see, some people can't get to that level. So their shows, they do the same show over and over and over again. And then they wonder, they'll get a little bit of likes or notoriety for a little while, and then they fizzle. They fizzle. They'll shoot up in popularity over a short period of time. They'll go from, 10 followers to 20,000 to 50,000 in a short period of time, and then they fizzle. Because people tune in and they're looking for something different or more, and you ain't giving it to them. You're just giving them the same shit day in and day out. Kendra G is a perfect example of that. How many damn crazy bitches do we need her to see her interview? How many times do we need to see her interview? These chicks are becoming redundant. They look different, but they're the same chick over and over and over again. We're tired of seeing it. What's next? What's next? How many Kendra Cams do we need to see? We've heard these crazy women, and they don't even. It's the Dunning-Kruger. Dunning-Kruger is the Dunning-Kruger principle or theory. You're basically, essentially, you're too stupid to realize you're stupid. That's what Dunning-Kruger is. Okay. See, a lot of people they've memorized a few. They become red pill talking points or manosphere talking points. And as I keep trying to tell y'all, a lot of what y'all say is red pill ain't red pill. It's blue pill. They just believe whatever they want to believe. Okay. Red pill is reality and your understanding of reality. But that's not what these people are demonstrating. They're just demonstrating blue pill. I'm gonna think whatever I want to think. I'm gonna make up my own pill. I'm gonna be clear pill, gray pill, purple pill, rainbow pill, the white pill. I'm sure it's gonna be a neon pill soon, or a black light pill, and uh, enough, enough. It's all blue pill if you understand the meaning of the matrix, and that's where it all starts. I tried to explain this to y'all 15 years ago. Morpheus said to y'all, and I quoted him 15 years ago, you're so hopelessly enamored, ingrained in the system, that you will die to protect it. Right? That was that speech he gave in the first movie. But see, a lot of y'all have not watched the movie ever. Excuse me. You haven't watched the movie. You didn't really understand the movie. I mean, The Matrix came out, what, fucking 98, 99, some shit like that. When did The Matrix come out? Way back then? I remember going to the movies to see that shit. I went to Columbia. I was living in Orangeburg, but I drove all the way up to Columbia to we in Orangeburg we had a movie theater, but it wasn't the best. The nicer movie theaters were in Charleston or Columbia. Excuse me. So I took a girl out on a date. We went to see Matrix of Columbia. It had to be 98, 99, somewhere in there. It had to be. I remember I was driving my Mustang. My Mustang was but a couple of years old at that point. I mean, my Mustang was in '96. I bought it in '96. Um, so it had to be. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Normally I would mute, but I tell you I'm using this sensitive ass phone. So if I try to mute real quick so I can cough, I might knock off the whole damn stream. So y'all just gonna have to deal with me. Um, so yeah, it had to be 98, 99. Y'all don't remember that movie. Y'all haven't watched it since. Y'all haven't followed all of the subsequent movies. There's so many layers to this Matrix thing. There's so many layers to it. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. For example, Agent Smith was the flip side to Neo, right? And y'all don't realize you wouldn't have Neo without Agent Smith. Oh shit, I just dropped something on y'all. Oh snap, what you mean, V? What you talking about? Look how instrumental Agent Smith was in Neo becoming the one, right? Would Neo have become the one without Agent Smith? No. And the funny thing is, neither of them were aware of this, that they needed each other to exist. And that's my response to you. I see this a lot. Positive vibes. I only want positivity. You can't have positivity without negativity. You can't have up without down. You can't have left without right. The universe has balance. You can't have good without evil. Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. You can't have just straight positivity. It's just the concept wouldn't even exist unless you knew what negativity was. Now I'm getting into some philosophical shit that y'all ain't even ready for. I'm not gonna do that tonight. Let's check the comments. Let's see. We still good. We are still good. As you come in, please, content creators, let us know who you are. So that way we can share the love over here. I don't like that trolling shit a lot of y'all do. I see y'all coming in and out on different platforms that I broadcast on. I can see y'all popping in and out. Then I go to that platform and look at those individual metrics. I see it there too. Y'all not slick. What's the purpose of that? Just trolling, and I'm not gonna participate. This is the people's channel. It's made for y'all to participate. It's made for y'all. Now come over here to learn. See, the problem is with black men today. Well, I'm not even going to just say today's black man. This has always been a problem for black men. Everybody thinks they are a teacher, especially when they hit a certain age. They think they know shit that they don't fucking know. Just because you lived to a certain amount of age, you're 30, you're 35 now. You may have had an undesirable, underperforming life. So your experiences are below average. Who gives a fuck of what you got to say? You haven't done anything exceptional. You haven't accomplished nothing. You just been surviving. Oh shit, V, I know you ain't talking to me. Because this is, I think about this a lot. I remember when the lead says, well, if you're over 35, you got shit to tell people. No, you don't. I'm sorry, not everybody does. I'm sorry. Your lives aren't that interesting. You really haven't accomplished nothing. You had a job. I don't care how good or bad your job was. You just had a job. You were just a regular guy. Mr. 20-year divorce attorney. Right? Who ended up getting a divorce? Shouldn't he have been like more educated on marriage than the rest of us? He had a special insight that didn't benefit him. Well, that's another conversation. A lot of y'all are socially awkward and you can't be honest about it now. You've created an avatar for yourself online. And that avatar, you got to pick out what you look like. You got to put your little glasses on your avatar like you wear in real life. And you got to still make sure your beard was filled in great, even though you don't have one of those in person. Because see, if you've grown a beard, it takes time. It takes grooming. But y'all can just create an avatar with the perfect beard. And you think that avatar represents you in real life. It doesn't. It doesn't. But it's more descriptive of how you see yourself. And we look at how y'all create your avatars and like, this is what this dude thinks of himself. Now y'all getting on YouTube and Instagram and all these other places where we can see y'all. And y'all create these characters for yourselves. But it's not real. You're not that dude. You pretend to be that dude, but you're not. When somebody starts telling you, everything they tell you is a success. They never tell you their failures, what they struggled with, how they were hurt, they were beat down, they were lonely. They don't tell those stories. They were sad. They got fucked up in the game. They don't tell those stories. Everything for them is a success. And they want to make it seem like that's how they've been operating their entire lives. Or they've been operating at a high level this entire time. There are a few guys out here that have. But that's a rare thing. It's a rare thing. Even us guys who operate at a high level, you have a whole different slew of problems that come along with that. What Biggie tell y'all? More money, more problems. That's some deep shit, Biggie said. I had problems early on that most of my peers just couldn't relate to. They just couldn't understand it. It just wasn't in their realm of comprehension. Because I was a fast starter. I had to be. That was just how I was built. So I started out the gate very fast at 18. Very fast. Way light years ahead of my peers. I was in direct competition with men who were double and triple my age. Those are the guys I saw as competition. They had things I wanted. So when I got my first house, that was before I even turned 21. Before I even turned 20, I purchased my first house. All right. It was a triple wide trailer. Some of you I've never even been in a brand new trailer. Well, your parents living in that trailer today. Everybody ain't grow up in regular houses. They grew up in trailers, you know, trailers that wasn't even bricked in under the bottom. And the way they build these trailers now and have been building for the last 30 years, some of these trailers look like fucking stick built houses. You can very rarely tell the difference. I had a fireplace in my trailer. I had a jacuzzi tub in my trailer, you know, dishwasher and all that. My shit was stacked, but I was a young man. I had accomplished stuff at an early age. And because things were coming easy to me, I didn't necessarily have the appreciation I should have had. I just wanted more. So I wasn't even competing with guys my age. I'm competing with their, their dads and their granddads. And I'm ahead of most of them. So, for example, what I'm talking about, anybody who's ever built a house, you understand there are levels to the shit. There's processes, okay? And one thing, when you start out with raw land, especially if you don't own the land in advance, like nobody gave me my land, I had to go out and buy land. That's the first step I did. And I'm doing this while I'm in college on scholarship, by the way. I'm also a freaking at that time I was an assistant manager at McDonald's. So I had a full-time job. I had multiple jobs, but my full-time job was McDonald's. I was also at that time I was running a computer lab on campus. I was also teaching a HTML course um, every other semester on campus. And in the summertime, I was working on the yearbooks because I was a desktop publisher. That's what they called us back then. Now they call us graphic designers. And hell, I don't know what they're calling us today because everybody kind of does this shit themselves. But a lot of this stuff that y'all are just starting to do with Photoshop, editing videos and all of that, I've been doing in the 90s. I started, hell, it wasn't even called Photoshop back then. In the beginning, it was called PageMaker. I remember before Microsoft Word got popular, it was Clarice Works on the Mac. Clarice Works, way ahead of its time. Anyway, so I had to go out and buy the land. I'm doing full course load plus my jobs. It's not easy. I didn't have any kids, but I had a girlfriend. Should have married that girl. Anyway, I had to find the land. Then you got to get the land site ready. You can't just drop a trailer on the land. The land has to be prepared. You got to put in a septic tank. You got to go down to the city and get approval. That's a process. It may take, I remember it took a couple of months because the way the land wasn't quite level. And the septic tank had to be in the front yard. You know, the city tells you where they want the land to be. And this at that time, Orangeburg County, they wanted my doggone septic tank to be in the front of the house. Um, so it was a learning process, and um, stuff I thought it was just as simple as buying the damn trailer and they would just take care of everything. No, it's not that simple. It is not that simple. So I had to teach myself a lot of things. I had to learn things. I had to seek out wise counsel. Um, for example, the water. The city doesn't bring the water to your house. The city brings the water to the edge of your property. That's what they're required to do. Then you have to get the water connected from that city line to your house. Well, depending on how far your house is back off the road, for so to speak, it can get expensive. And it's only a little line, and the water line is not huge, you know. But getting it drilled or and getting it, somebody has to dig that line, and you got to pray that please, when they're digging that line, they don't run across some big ass boulder underneath. That then you're gonna have to pay for somebody to move that boulder. You can't just reroute the line. I mean, because the line is pretty much got to be straight. So there's a lot that goes into that, and luckily, I didn't have no big boulders under the ground or whatever that I was unaware of because you can't see that when you buy the land, you know. So yeah, it was a lot into that just to get water to your house. Electricity is a little bit easier. Um, that's a little bit easier. But that water is I could throw everything off. Yeah, but it's a lot into it. But I was doing this stuff. Remember, I'm not even 20 years old yet. And I'm doing this. I didn't have nobody guiding me. I had to learn a lot of this for myself and seek out. I had to seek out guidance. I'm doing. Some of you men have not done this yet. You still haven't done what I'm talking about, and you're in your 40s. You might have bought a house that was already built. You know, you basically just took over something that was already established. Well, I'm talking about establishing something that was never there from the ground up. In a trailer, it's yeah, the trailer's ready, but this the process is the same. So I remember when I bought a house later on, my second house here in Charlotte, that house I had built from the ground up as well. The only thing that was done when I got there, because I was in the subdivision, the only thing that had already been done was the foundation was already laid. So that was different. But you got to pick out everything: the cabinets, the carpet, the type of installation you want, this or that. What is the R value? It's a lot of things you got to consider. Am I in a flood zone? Am I not? Because my house was pretty close to a lake, Mount Allen Lake to be exact, which was like 10 miles away. Well, I didn't give a shit. I'm like, it ain't next door to the lake. Why does that matter to me? Because the flooding can happen. And if that lake floods, it could affect something 20, 30 miles away. Because there are a lot of dry riverbeds in Charlotte that if the lake overfloods, them dry beds is gonna fill up and flood too. That happens. Um, that happens a lot, especially here in Charlotte, where we're south of the mountains. So if some flooding happens up there in the mountains, that water has to go somewhere. Where does it go? It comes down the mountain. And some of the lakes can absorb it, but sometimes they can't. And they overflow into the creeks, into the streams, and hell, that can go all the way down to the coast. Eventually, the water is going to find a way. So you got to be conscious of that. Am I in a flood zone, as they say? And my house was, so I had to have flood insurance. Not just because I was close to the lake, but I was in the zone. I was in the zone. Um, Things that a lot of y'all don't even know about. You don't even know about it. Excuse me a second, y'all. Like I said, I'm overcoming this little cold. Y'all just gotta deal with me. I'm sorry. Let me see. I got any comments? Let's see what we got. No comments. We still good. All right. Again, I don't want to touch the phone. I'm just gonna glance every now and then. But we got any viewers? Yeah, we got a couple of viewers. I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. You are now rocking with the best. I'm your favorite content creator. A lot of these dudes be trolling me and watching me and stealing shit from me. I know a lot of us say that, but it's true. I watch a lot of people and I hear the things that they say, and I'm like, I just said that shit like a week earlier. I'll just say something and then somebody else is repeated like they just see. The difference with me is I give people shout outs when I quote people. I'll say something they say. I'm a black woman. Shout out to Messing Show. Right? That's her shit. I give her credit for that. With RB and say, your mama is a hoe. Shout out to RB. See, us as black men, we have a problem giving other people their credit. Why? What is wrong with that? But that they're telling on themselves. They're giving their own insecurity. And that brings me in. Trying to stay on topic and not go down these rabbit holes. The death of a salesman. Who am I talking about, y'all? Who am I talking about? Death of a salesman. I'm talking figuratively and specifically. So I gave y'all the figuratively. We don't have good salesmen no more. Salesmen used to matter 30 years ago. You went to Radio Shack because you met salesmen there. You know, people who had expertise. They had a knowledge. They had wisdom. They can guide you on your purchase into electronics. That's why you went to Radio Shack. Some of y'all young men are thinking, well, it wasn't nothing else. No, bullshit. We had Circuit City. We had The Wiz. We had Crazy Eddie. We had, we talked about this on our mainstream, right? We had Camelot. We had Sam Goody. We had the Guitar Center back then, right? We had Best Buy. We had Best Buy back then in the 90s. See, y'all think a lot of shit is new. So how did Radio Shack compete with Best Buy? Because Best Buy didn't have salesmen. They had cashiers. You go to Best Buy, look at something electronic, there's a guy there to go get it for you out the back. And he might be able to, if you're lucky, he might have a little bit of personal experience on what his opinion was on which TV to buy versus another buy. But when you went to Radio Shack, you got the techie guys actually came to Radio Shack, people who wanted help. This is why Radio Shack was #1 in wireless phone sales. For Verizon, for Sprint. They were #1. Those are the two largest. Radio Shack was #1. Radio Shack sold more phones than Best Buy, Walmart, and anybody else. Hell, we were selling more than their own stores. We sold more Sprint phones than Sprint stores. We sold more Verizon phones than Verizon stores back then. Why? Because you got a level of expertise. That's the whole reason why. Right? Even though Best Buy was a flashier store, Circuit City had been around just as long. It was flashier. but they didn't have you didn't get experienced salespeople. Hey, I got this DVD player and it won't hook up to my TV, and I just can't figure it out. The instructions aren't telling me what I need to know. You go into Best Buy, you might be in there for 2 hours and never get the answer. You ask that question in the Radio Shack, 5 minutes. Oh, you need a RF modulator. A what? Because they never heard it before. You need an RF modulator because that converts the analog signal to digital. So when we sold DVD players, we made sure we asked you, what kind of TV do you have? Do you have the red, white, and yellow jacks on the back of your TV, or the blue, red, and green ones? What do you have on the back of your TV? No, I ain't got none of that. You need an RF modulator. If you got the cable, if you got the red, white, and yellow, then we're gonna sell you those cables because that's what you're gonna need to hook up to the DVD player. So we're gonna make sure you got the cables. We're gonna make sure you got the RF modulator if you need it. That was knowledge, that was experience, that was wisdom. You know how many people bought shit from they end up going to Best Buy to buy the shit. But then later on, they got to come back after Christmas. Somebody bought them a DVD player, but they ain't give them the shit to hook it up to. They gave them the box with the DVD player. They had it all wrapped up, and they bought them a DVD to watch. But the people been trying to hook it up all Christmas. There ain't nobody open, so they can't go run out and buy the cable today. The next day, as soon as we open Black Friday or the next damn day that we're open, they don't go, I got a line in my store. Let me guess. Y'all all got DVD players just so you can't hook it up. How you know? You need RF modulators. You sure? Yes, I'm sure. I this is what I do every day. So now I done sold them the RF modulator. I'm gonna sell them the damn red, white, and yellow cables, the audio visual cables. And I'm gonna sell them some batteries for the damn remote control because you're gonna need those too. It don't come with batteries, more than likely it doesn't. But guess what? Even if it does, you're gonna need batteries too. So go ahead and take these batteries. Yeah, you're right. Hey, when the last time you changed the battery in your smoke detector while we talking about it? Yeah, that's funny, especially the women. That's why I found it so funny when Kevin would point this out. Yeah, go ahead and take these square batteries, which you're gonna need that for your doggone while you change your batteries. Go ahead and make sure you got it. I had a whole stack of them right next to my register. So you come into my store to try to hook up your DVD player, you not only are you getting that, you're getting some batteries too. Back then we called it PB&A, parts, batteries, and accessories. That was worth more to us. We got paid a higher commission on that than we did on selling you the damn DVD player. So I made sure, hey, you're gonna need these batteries. You can't tell me you ain't been in your house scrambling through that drawer in the kitchen looking for a battery. I'm gonna sell your whole block up. So you always got it. Might as well go ahead and get it now. Right? That's the difference between the salesman and the cashier. My stepfather was a clothing salesman, men's clothing, and people would come in. And as a young man, I would go. Sometimes summertime, I would hang out around their store. It was called Jack Swartz. Jack Swartz was located in Short Hills, New Jersey, right next door to Millburn. This is a very wealthy area. Okay. So he would sell clothes. And I'm a young man. I didn't know I was being trained, but I'm absorbing the information. So somebody coming in, hey, how can I help you today? Yeah, I'm looking for a suit. I'm going to okay, what kind of event you going to? Yeah, I go to work and I just need some suits for work. Oh, okay. So you're going to need what, a blue, gray, and maybe a black or a dark gray. What are we trying to do? Yeah, that sounds great. All right, cool. Let me they already done size them up. Oh, you look like a 42 regular. Oh man, you're good. That's exactly my size. Okay. And you look like in the waist, you're about a 36 in the waist. Well, we'll check your measurements. So they moved the guy Take him to the mirror, make him stand on that pedestal, measure his inseam, measure his waist. And yeah, I thought you were 42 regular. You're not tall, so you're not a 42 tall or long. You're a 42 regular. You know, your average height, you're about 5'8", 5'9". Okay. So, so yeah, okay. So we leave the guy sitting there, or he will leave the guy sitting there, standing on the pedestal, looking at himself in the mirror. So then he would bring the suit over and let the guy try the jacket on. And you know, how's that? That's a good fit. Now the guy's probably, if the guy got a shirt on, a dress shirt, a button-up shirt, you could immediately start showing him ties. So he didn't have one, you know, I mean, guy just may have a regular t-shirt on. It's Saturday, he's off, you know, whatever. So now we're gonna pick up. Now my stepfather would go pick out a couple of shirts, and he would hold one up to the guy and say, "Okay, yeah, yeah. So here's a white shirt, and here's a tie that goes great with that suit." So now the three he done picked out. The guy came in to buy one suit. We already got three suits lined up for him. Dark, light, like a dark suit, like a dark charcoal, a light gray, and then maybe a navy blue. Okay. So we're gonna put a couple of shirts with that. So now you're buying three suits, three shirts, three ties. And then we done, you know, we done held all of them up to this guy. See, here's how you make this work. So you don't necessarily need, well, then the guy starts asking a question. You think I need more suits? No. We're gonna start you off with this. These are your three basics. Now, here's how you make it work. You change shirts. So with this navy blue, sometimes you might not wear a white shirt with that. You're gonna wear maybe a light blue shirt with that. Okay. And wear, you know, and match a tie up with it. That's how you change your look. Same suit, different looks. You know what kind of belt you got? I really don't have that, you know, a nice belt. Okay, well, let's put a belt with that. Seat parts, batteries, accessories, it's the same principle. You came in for the DVD player, you got the AV cords, you got the batteries, you came in for a suit, you got a tie, shirt, handkerchief, socks, belt, and then you build a relationship, establishing a relationship with that guy. The guy walks out, he came in to buy, he saw an advertisement in the paper for a $200 suit, you know, walked out with $1,000 worth of clothes. That's a salesman. So y'all used to going down to Macy's and picking out your own shit, and you take it up to the register and they ring up what you bought. Okay, nobody really helped you, but you go down to a clothing store, they're gonna take your measurement. Now you know your measurements. You know your size. You know your sleeve length. You know we're gonna send it to the tailor. We're gonna get it tailor made to your specific measurements. You know, just buying it off the rack. We're gonna have somebody tailor it for you. So then we do that for two reasons. You got to come back. So now you came in to buy this $200 suit off the rack. You thought that you were done. No. Now you're coming back next week. This is Saturday. You're gonna come back. Okay, we have your stuff ready next Saturday for you. Everything is gonna be tailor-made. So you walk out with the shirts and the ties. So you've been looking at them shirts and ties all week, like, man, I'm gonna kill them. Wait till next week. I'm gonna kill them with it. And you do. And we're gonna make sure you do. Right? Salesmanship. Some of y'all, I'm talking about this. This thing has happened to you. You didn't even know it happened to you. You met a salesman. You got closed on things that you didn't even know you needed. Right? So you come back, you've been stewing, man. You've been simmering for a week. And then when you come in, we're not just letting you pick up your shit and walk out the door. See, here's why I come in. That's why they would pay me under the table a couple of dollars. Hey, go in the back and get Mr. Jones is here to pick up his stuff. You know, we got him lined up in the back. Go ahead and start bringing him out and set him up over there by that mirror over there. So I have all this stuff set up. Got a little table set up with everything he done purchased, and we gonna hook him up. He gonna try it on right by the dressing room, and we gonna make sure each suit, all three of them, fit perfectly, and then he thinks they fit perfectly. They call this a hard close versus soft close. So when you hard close somebody, they're done. Soft closes, you just rush them out the door, and they may come back a week later and return all that shit. But they understand when you start getting shit customized, there is no returning it. No, this suit that you had tailor made to your body is not going to be returned, and it's going to last you a lifetime. The difference between cheap clothes and quality clothes. So yeah, you're going to spend a little bit more money, but you're going to look better. Have you ever seen somebody in a tailored suit? It fits them differently. It fits them differently. And I ain't talking about them zoot suits that y'all ninjas wear to church every Easter. You know, you looking like Steve Harvey or somebody with the baggy ass suit. You know, instead of having a tailor-made suit that actually think about Ghost and Power. Ghost suits were always tailored to his body. Yeah, he wasn't wearing no Steve Harvey baggy suits. He was wearing a tailored suit. It's a different look. Different look. And especially if you have an awkward body, tailored suits are important for you guys. You know, you guys will you badly built men out here. You can hide that by having your clothes tailored. Even if you don't wear a complete suit, if you just wear sports jackets and have that sports jacket tailored, it's gonna look better on your body. It's gonna hide some of your defects. You know what I mean? You have your pants tailored. It's gonna hide some of your defects. Looks different. It's a little tip for y'all. You know, spend some money on yourself is what I'm saying. See, a lot of y'all like to throw your money around. This is what I'm the purpose of today's show. It's not that you spend the money; it's how you spend your money. So you could take a guy, and I pay attention to this, especially when I sold cars, and I had this knowledge of always having my suits and my clothing tailored to me. It looks more professional than a guy who just ran down to JC Penney's and bought a suit off the rack, and the suit wasn't really designed for him. But me, it looked like I took my job seriously. So people would buy from me just on appearance value. Just the tie choice. It set things, especially when you're dealing with higher class individuals, no clothes. They know quality clothes when they see them. And up there, they'll compliment, hey man, that's a nice suit you got on. Well, that's a nice tie you got on. Higher class individuals would say that to you. Right. Dry clean, people who got their clothes dry cleaned. That says a lot about you. That you take your clothes serious. As opposed to you just a guy who throws his clothes in the washing machine. Yeah, this tailor-made suit, these tailored pants, you just throwing those in the washing machine. That's what you do. Yeah, but you got all this money, but you don't know how to spend it. You know, have a nice watch on your arm, that kind of thing. I know we don't wear watches today because everybody got a phone. Well, watches, was a symbol of status, of professionalism at one point. Still is. Says a lot about you. French cuffs versus regular button-up cuffs. You know, even when I worked for McDonald's, when I worked for Radio Shack, I used to have my shirts designed or made specially. So I didn't order my shirts from Radio Shack. You could go to they always had a catalog where the managers would order all the clothes. No, I had my own clothes made, my shirts made, because I wanted cufflinks. I wanted French cuffs. Um, and I wanted to stand out from other store managers. So when people came into my store and they saw me like, oh, wait a minute, this guy is a fucking professional. I looked different. I wasn't just wearing that baby blue standard Radio Shack store manager shirt. Wasn't wearing that. My shirts look like they cost $100 each. That's what my shirts look like, and I had cufflinks. My pants look different. I might have had some Ralph Lauren pants instead of the standard Radio Shack. Where did them pants come from? What's that damn place? Centos or some shit. No, I didn't look like that. I looked like I could leave Radio Shack and go, and have done so, go straight to Manhattan to hang out at night. There was times I left my store, drove to the train station, and hopped right on the train, and I was in Manhattan in my fucking Radio Shack clothes, and I still look sharp. Because the only way you knew that it was a Radio Shack shirt, I had a little embroidery on the cuff. That's what the R was. So if you didn't see that R, you just thought, oh man, this guy's just a regular guy. He looks sharp. He going to see a game, or he going to catch a little Broadway joint or whatever, or going to hang out at Jazz on the 4th. My uncle and my stepfather used to do a promotion. Shout out to Dan Bellinger. I know he watches. Jazz on the 4th. So every 4th Sunday, they did a jazz show at a club in New York City. The moniker was Jazz on the 4th. So you couldn't just show up in jeans for that kind of event. You had to be business casual at the least. So when I got older, as a young man seeing them do that, when I got older and started hanging out on those kind of events, I was always dressed, man. You had your gold sock, your gold toe socks. That was the thing back then. You just couldn't have no regular dress socks. You had to have the gold toe. Now today we got more choices in socks, but how you spend your money matters. But see, some of you guys is just so anxious. You got a couple of dollars now, but you don't have quality. You don't have taste. You don't have purpose for when you just spend money to be flashy. Go to a bar. In certain bars, now I'm about to tell myself, yeah, I used to hang out in bars too. Again, remember, I'm competing with the older guys. So a lot of those guys, I went to older guy clubs, we don't really have that today. Everybody kind of goes to the same clubs today. We used to, even in Charlotte here, we used to have one called the Excelsior. That's where the old cats used to hang out. And the young girls used to hang out there too. So young girls always wanted to be around the old guys, the guys that had money in class. So when you go into a bar and you ask for a shot of Richard Hennessy, and that bar doesn't have it, but the fact that you ask for that, and a lady hear you get winded, he asked for Richard Hennessy. What the hell is Richard Hennessy? He didn't ask for just regular Hennessy. He asked for Richard Hennessy. Right? Richard Hennessy is like, back then it was like $50 a shot. Today, if a bar carries Richard Hennessy, it might be $100 shot. One shot is $100. Class. Because you not just sitting there downing shots. You're more focused on quality. So you're going to sip that shot. Now you might get something else. You might have a beer with it. You might have a Coke chaser, whatever how you do it. But your Hennessy, that's $50 shot. You sipping on that, that's smooth. You just getting a light buzz. Okay. You ain't popping no bottles with Richard Hennessy. Richard Hennessy, shit, can run you about $5,000 a bottle or more. So you can imagine what a club is selling it for. Come on. Y'all don't know the game, man. See, if you know money and you got money, you're accustomed to having it. This is why Kevin tried to tell y'all 3 to 5 years minimum, because it takes that long of having that money to know how to spend it. And I remember I tell y'all about Jeff Bowers all the time and Goldie. Those were my mentors when I was selling Toyotas. Now Jeff was phenomenal, but Goldie was. They both believed in studying and learning their craft. So they were always studying manuals and industry news stuff in their spare time, contacting their old customers, calling them up, bird dogging. But Jeff also was very interested in finance. And I remember I got my first big commission check, and I'm expecting it to be 20 something $1,000, a good month. But when I saw that check, and remember, I'm a single man, no kids, not married. They ate them taxes, ate me the fuck up. Jeff kind of laughed at me. Yeah. He said, what you need to do is you need to start studying finance. I said, what the hell are you talking about, Jeff? I'm pissed off at this point, so I really don't want to hear the damn Obi-Wan Kenobi shit from him right now. Here you see this book. He reached in the back seat of the car. We were standing outside of his car. I was parked right next to him. So he reached in his back seat and pulled out this book. The book was How to Pay Zero Taxes. Comes out every year. He said, buy this book, start studying finance and tax law. Because it's not about just having money, it's about keeping what you earn. I said, shit. He said, you're already doing good. I know you get your clothes dry cleaned. That's good. But did you know you could write that shit off on your taxes every year? I'm young. I ain't know nothing about this shit. Like, what? He said, yes. Do you keep the receipts? He's like, no, I don't keep them receipts. Keep the receipts. You can write your dry cleaning off. He told me what book. I immediately went out on lunch break. I went to the what was it? Was it Walden Books back then? Yeah, Walden Books in Columbia and the mall. I went to that mall, got me I remember that day, it was hot as hell. So I went to the ice cream. I went and got the book, and I got me some ice cream, my vanilla with rainbow sprinkles, and I sat down in the mall and started reading that book. And I bought that book every year. And then Jeff told me, he's like, I'm certified to do taxes. I'm like, really? Why? He's like, because I want to understand my money. I want to understand where my money's going. So he was like, the IRS does a class every year for free, usually at local libraries or whatever, or a local tax office. Somebody puts on a test where you can become VITA certified to do taxes. I said, really? He's like, I do it every year. He said, it doesn't cost me nothing, and it's free information. I get certified to do taxes. I was like, damn. So I started doing that. That's how I ended up start doing the taxes. I wanted to keep my own money. Definitely a salesman. Kevin was a salesman. And this is why a lot of y'all don't have the appreciation for what Kevin Samuels truly was. It's over your head. And that's why y'all look at Kevin and be like, I can do what he did. I can put the suit on and that's obsidian. Or I just put the suit on. And everybody gonna respond to me like Kevin. That hasn't worked. Even with Kevin promoting him, it didn't work. Right? Right? Am I wrong or am I right? Obsidian numbers haven't changed very much, have they? Because he didn't understand what being a salesman was. Kevin was at traditional top salesman behaviors where remember I told you, Jeff and Goldie, always studying manuals, always wanting to know how things work, how they can make themselves better, constantly. Kevin was the same way. That's why I was able to recognize what Kevin was. I'm like, damn, I would see Jeff do that shit. I would see Goldie do that shit. Some of the same conversations that Kevin would talk about, I heard Jeff and Goldie saying the same shit. Right? But y'all didn't appreciate Kevin like I do. Because I was cut from the same cloth. Guys like that didn't like wasting time. Time was very important to them. They didn't like wasting time. Remember I told y'all, Jeff wouldn't even fucking talk to me. Not one word for the first year. It wasn't until I proved myself to him. I had to prove that I was a salesman and not just a cashier for him to begin talking to me. See, some of y'all never had that. That salesmanship, you know. That salesman. I was surrounded by salesmen all my life. My stepfather was a salesman. My uncle Cameron was a salesman. Okay? My grandmother was a salesman. She sold textiles, fabrics. I had an aunt. My aunt Joyce did sales, some form of sales. I was constantly around salespeople. And it was so funny. I just woke up one day and was like, oh shit, I'm a salesman. I never planned to be one. But I have been groomed for so long that closing techniques and, you know, the presentation or the structure of a sale, that shit was just organic to me. And so then when I began teaching sales later on, it was amazing to me how some people just couldn't grasp the concept and they struggled with it. I'm like, but you're doing it. You do it. Just think I would tell people, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not good at sales. I'm like, we all are. We all are salesmen. It's just, are you getting paid for your salesmanship? How many times have you recommended a product to somebody and you told them how good it was and how it could benefit them because you had it and it worked for you? Oh, I do that all the time. I know you do. So why can't you do that and get paid for it? Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. So it's not. A lot of times it's a mental block, and you have to examine yourself and change your thinking. You have to renew yourself, as Christ said. Right? You have to bethink yourselves. Right? Boom! I done brought it back around again. How do men compete? Somebody asked me this question recently. Still monologuing, y'all. We ain't even got to the main event. The main event is coming. I'm still calm. You know, I get excited when I get to the main event. I'm slow stroking y'all tonight. Y'all getting these slow strokes. And what time is it? We're gonna see what time we at. Oh, it's still early. It's about 10 o'clock. Coming up to 10 o'clock. So I'm slow stroking y'all. Y'all ain't got nothing else to do. It's Sunday night. Y'all rocking with the champ. Right? Learn something. Learn something. And go back and watch some of them old Kevin Samuels videos. Watch them in their entirety, particularly his monologues. Just watch and listen. Masterful. Masterful. Friggin' masterful. But some of y'all, it's over your head. You just never gonna get it. And a lot of you scrubs, well, I'm just as good as him. You on the bench talking shit. Wonder why you ain't never in the game. Why you ain't a starter. Because you don't stack up to that guy. You tell yourself, oh, I'm a man like him. I put my pants on like he put his pants on. Beta, no, not beta. That's delta men talking points. Because alphas can recognize each other and they give each other credit. Like, yo, especially like in school. You compete in school. You in the basketball team. You know them star players from the other teams. So when you meet that school or you see those guys out, oh, yo, yeah, you Sean, right? You go to school over there at Scott, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who are you? I'm V, man. Oh, you go to EO. Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard of you, man. Yeah, you be out there in Orange Park, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I play ball at, you know. You know, growing up where I grew up, everybody had a park they went to. You know, Orange Park, Elmwood Park. Usually the park was in your neighborhood, and that's where the boys congregated in your neighborhood. And the other guys had a sense of pride for you. So even if they weren't good as you, they would support you. Like, oh, that's my boy. Yo, that's V. He one of us. You were representing the neighborhood when you went to play ball somewhere. Oh yeah, my boy gonna get in that ass. Nah, my boy from over here. You ain't seen him. Yeah, I seen him. He all right, but wait till he play against my boy. And now the hype is building. So when the schools play each other, usually it's a packed gym. Usually it's a packed gym. I remember when I came down south. Now I'm shouting out all my Pageland, South Carolina people. When I came down south, people heard about me. Again, I was one of the first dudes that people that anybody knew from up north. So I'm that kid from Jersey. Hey, who y'all talking about? That kid with the big afro. Oh, word, yeah. Yeah, he could play ball real good. Yeah, he on the team now. So then we had practices and scrimmages in the gym. And usually the gym, everybody lined up for the buses, or you had to wait for your bus in the gym. So that the rafters is full while we practicing. Sometimes them scrimmages would get so good, people would miss their buses because you had more people watching the game during scrimmages than the actual damn games. Tell me if I'm lying. Some of y'all who went to school with me in high school, y'all remember seeing me play ball? Y'all remember seeing me play ball? Y'all remember them scrimmages? Then at the games, they like, yo, put him in, coach, put me in. Because I was nice. I was kind of, if I had to compare myself to a style of play for a basketball player, I was kind of that Allen Iverson type. That would be the person I would closest pattern myself after, just fearless. You know, fearless. I was a playground legend before I came down south. But these people didn't know that. I had to prove that. They didn't know what I did in Jersey. They only know what they saw in front of them. And I went to a football school. You know, football is big down here in the South, not basketball like it is in New Jersey. Basketball was a shit in Jersey. Even when I ran track, we had people showing up to our track meets who had never done so before just to see us. Because I brought that Allen Iverson spirit to the track meets. Tell me I'm lying. And we supported, as a leader of the team, I made sure my team supported the other sports. So, you know, and the girls. So anytime the girls was in having a game, we showed up in force. The whole basketball team would show up. And we was dressed. And if we weren't playing, we was still in our shirt and ties. We showed up and we all sat together, supported our girls. We went to our track meets. When we was done with our competitions, we would go over there and celebrate and cheer on the girls running their 4x1s or 100 meters. Who was the fastest girl in the school? See, a lot of y'all remember the fastest dude. Do y'all remember the fastest girl in the school? Oh shit, y'all don't know that. I remember her name. Ann Blakeney. Shout out to Ann Blakeney. Ann Blakeney was the fastest girl in Chesterfield County. That girl was fast. We supported her. We supported her big time. Big time. Let's see what we got. Any comments? Oh shit, wait a minute. Oh, damn it. Tell y'all I didn't want to touch it. I'll be messing it up. Here we see. What we got? Snowman in the house, I believe. Angry man is in the house. The angry snowman. Um, can't really read what you're saying. This snowman, my eyes are bad. I'm on the wrong phone. I'll try to see it later, but I'm gonna be dropping the link after a while anyway. I appreciate you stopping by. The snowman, y'all. He ain't bad for light skin. Right. A lot of y'all wonder why I say that, right? Where that quote come from? That come from Hustle and Flow. Hustle and Flow is where that quote was said, and the remember the white boy was he was the producer making the beats, right? So when he started making that beat from scratch for my man, and then my man said to him, "Ain't bad for light skin, is he?" Because he was a little leery about to do it at first. Like, I got a white boy producer me? Nah. And then once the white boy started making them beats, he was like, "Oh shit, not bad for light skin, is he?" Now, then later on, Dennis Sperling, the Blizzard King, that's one of his little he got a sample of that. Not bad for light skin. Yeah. So I say that to Angry Man all the time. My brother, the Angry Man, the Angry Snowman. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Angry Snowman 2 channel on YouTube. Somebody drop that link for me, please. Make sure we get the Snowman over there. Be having some good talk. Talk you ain't gonna get other places, and sometimes it's good to hear other perspectives. See how people see things from the outside looking in. Sometimes it's good to get that unbiased perspective. I will say, especially you ladies. You think, oh, y'all black men just think this way. No, it ain't just us. You got other groups of men that are looking at y'all too, and here's what they're saying about you, which is very similar to what we say. And this is why white men stay away from y'all for the most part. That's why they don't marry y'all. That's another conversation for another day. All right. So how do men compete? Right. Survival of the fittest is what men believe typically. Generally speaking, has always been true throughout history, anywhere on the planet, at any time. Survival of the fittest always applied until recently. So the last 20 or 30 years where women have sought to remove competition from the culture. I remember growing up as a little boy and you competed with other little boys. Who's the fastest? Who can catch the ball best? Who can run the fastest with the ball? Right? It starts that way. Who could play hide and seek the best? Who can play freeze tag the best? It was always a competition amongst boys. Right? Girls even had competition. Who could drunk rope the best? Who could double dutch the best? The step teams that the girls used to have. You know, who make the cheer squad? Right? There was always a competition. Men always had a competition. We didn't discuss it with women. We discussed it with each other, and we went out and competed with each other. And those ones who rose to the top, there were two mice who fell in a bucket of cream. Which mouse am I? The first mouse drowned. The second mouse turned the cream into butter and climbed out. Shout out to Frank Abagnale Sr. See, y'all don't like movies like I like movies. Shout out to Frank Abagnale Sr. Catch me if you can. Where you going next, Frank? Remember his father used to always ask him that. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, man. Let me get a 1 in the chat, man. Y'all seen the movie. Am I making sense right now? Do y'all know what I'm talking about right now? Or am I just rambling? There were 2 mice that fell in a bucket of cream. Which mouse am I? Frank Abagnale was teaching his son about fucking competing. It's always been in our culture. Somebody talk to me. I'm about to get fucking hot, man. Somebody got to know what I'm talking about right now. What? Khalif Muhammad. Shalom. Brother said he gave me the 1. He know what I'm talking about. Which mouse am I? Frank asked his son. And that's why Frank Jr. became so fucking competitive. He wanted to compete at everything. He wanted to be, his technique for forging shit was masterful. Because he worked on being the best. And that started at an early age. Remember, Frank Jr. was like 19 when they caught him. This dude had already stolen like $4 million. He was a kid. But that competitive nature was in him. Which mouse am I? I'm the one that climbed out. I'm the one that got the girl, he told his son. I'm the only one that your mother paid attention to in that French town. What was the name of that town? Monterey. Or some shit, right? Y'all better go back and watch these movies that y'all think y'all know. I'm a movie aficionado. So I look at the deeper meanings. That movie was fantastic. Not to mention how fucking great of an actor Tom Hanks is. DiCaprio. Y'all sleep on DiCaprio, man. Tom Hanks is a fucking genius. Y'all don't know, man. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't look at the world the way I look at it. How do men compete? You got to have it in you, first of all. You got to want to be the best. And then you got to go out and execute that. You realize, hey, that guy is better than me. Why is that guy better than me over there? Why is he faster than me? Because that nigga runs 10 miles a day. Maybe I need to run 12. Why can that dude jump higher than me? Is it because he's taller than me? No, that doesn't mean he's jumping higher than you. Just because he's tall. A lot of tall guys can't jump. I learned that in middle school. That's why they used to call me Air Van. That was my nickname in middle school. Shout out to VLD. Anybody, man, that didn't know me from middle school, tell them what they used to call me in middle school. That's how y'all know I'm not talking shit just to be talking shit. I always call out people to verify what I'm saying. I was 5'5", 5'5" in middle school, and I could grab the damn limb. There was very few guys taller or shorter than me in my school that could do that. I became known for that. I didn't just have that ability. I was known for riding my bike. I used to ride my bike everywhere. I used to run everywhere. I used to do calisthenics. So I developed that. I put in the work that other guys didn't put in. So people, my boys would bring me out. I remember 8th grade, they would bring me out. Yo, we got somebody to battle you. That we would call it a battle. And we would line up in the gym. Who could tap the basketball, the backboard? It was like our own dunk contest. Who could tap the best and the highest? So I remember this dude. He's the first person I seen do this sticker shit. He had a stick in his hand. Nobody knew it. So when he went up to tap the backboard, He put that smiley face sticker up there. Yo, that I had to get that dude his credit. Like, yo, that shit was off the fucking hook. Had never seen nobody do that before. I was like, yo, he beat me that day, right? Then the next week I came back. And I did the stamp. You know that my grandfather used to pay his bills, and when he got a bill, he had the ink pad with the stamp, and he would put the date received. That's what the stamp would say, date received, and underneath that it would be the date, today's date. So I took my grandfather's stamp and pad to school, and I couldn't wait to after gym class that day. So I went up and tapped the backboard and hit it with the stamp. A lot of people didn't even see what I did. And I pointed up, I did the Vince Carter shit. I pointed up at the Vince Carter. I did it before Vince Carter, but I did the same shit Vince Carter did, pointed at the backboard. And they was like, oh shit. So somebody went and got the damn ladder. You know, we always had a ladder in the gym in case the ball got stuck or something. We had to climb up there and get it. So somebody went up there and got the ladder, and they saw the stamp. It said received, and it had the date. It was above the smiley face sticker. That was the end of that battle. Even the dude, Conrad, I think his name was, he was like, yo, you got me on that. He never came back from that. They was like, where the hell did he get the stamp from? I used the actual stamp. I had stamped it and put it in my pocket. And as I went up, I went in my pocket, stamped it, came back down, put it back in my pocket. Most people didn't even see that shit. And I pointed up there at it. And they was like, nah, he ain't get it. He ain't get it. No, look at the stamp. And then up there on the backboard, date received and whatever date that was. Got him. Got him. Always been a performer, always been a competitor rather, excuse me. That's a natural thing that boys have. And there's nothing wrong with celebrating another man's success. Yo, that dude was the fastest dude in school. Yeah, that's my dude. He the fastest dude in school. Rohan Jackson, Rohan on here. Rohan was the strongest dude I knew in middle school. Rohan was always into lifting weights. That was his thing. We had a little weight team, and we used to get together after school and we would lift weights. He taught me about lifting weights. But Rohan had fucking Hulk Hogan arms in fucking middle school. Big ass arms. Rohan Jackson. Shout out to Rohan. He on here somewhere. He on my Facebook. Shout out to Rohan. He called me right after my father died. And he reached out to me. You know, all our parents grew up together, went to the same high school together. So he had got word that my father died. And reached out to me, and me and him talked a few times. I gotta reach out to him. I ain't talked to him lately. Rohan Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Rohan, my man. So y'all dudes who claim to be all of this and all of that, y'all ain't got no references. Nobody knows you. We don't believe you. You need more people. So ain't that what Jigga told y'all? I don't believe you. You need more people. You ain't got no history. Not even in your hometown. And a lot of y'all live in the same fucking town you grew up in. Nobody knows you. You're a nobody. You haven't done nothing. Be honest with yourself. But y'all are the same type of dudes who want to run overseas. You can't make a mark for yourself in the town you've been in all your life. But you think you're going to make a mark for yourself in another man's country with other men's women? That's what y'all think? And I guess you think that's air you're breathing. And that what Morpheus told Neo? You think I'm beating you because me being stronger or faster has something to do with it in this place? So you think that's air you're breathing? Y'all don't know that movie like I know it. Y'all don't understand what was being said to you. Right? You don't understand what was being said. You don't understand what do we call it? The methodology behind the movie. And that's why y'all are clueless with this whole red pill shit. Y'all think y'all can force somebody to take a red pill. I'm gonna red pill that person, or they've been red pilled. Bullshit. That's not how it works. You can't shove the red pill down somebody's throat. That's why I don't work with women. Y'all out here trying to do it, though. I'm gonna red pill her ass. Because I got a couple of dollars in my pocket. I'm gonna red pill her, and she's gonna become what I want her to become. Are you fucking shitting me, y'all? No pussy having motherfuckers. That's I'm gonna say it. See, the girls be nice when they talk to y'all. They be trying to be. I'm fucking pulling no punches. I'ma cry aloud and spare not. That's what I was commanded to do. For y'all people who claim to know the Bible, I'ma cry aloud and spare not. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. You don't know women. You don't know yourself. You don't know women, and you're wondering why you consistently have problems with women. You're fucking weird dudes. How we doing in the chat, y'all? What's going on in the chat? Y'all know I can't really see it. How many people we got? How many people we got watching in the chat? Somebody let me know. Give me an update. The likes look good. The mic sounds nice. Check one. The mic sounds nice. Check two. Can I get a mic check? I know Angry Man is talking a lot. Angry Snowman. I mean, be specific. The Angry Snowman. I done already told him I can't see very well on this phone. And he keep typing a lot of shit. I can't see it. But y'all may be knowing. Y'all may be having your own conversation. So I'm going to let him rock out. But I can't see it right now. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to switch phones. Maybe when I go to the... I'm open this up in a little bit. And maybe when I do that, I'll switch phones. Because I can see better on the other phone. And I want to be more interactive. This old phone that I'm using, it's good for doing what I'm doing right now. But as far as me giving y'all a little bit of pizzazz with it, I can't do that with this phone. If I touch it, it might blow the fuck up, okay? So we ain't going to do that. We're going to do what we're doing right now, and then I'll switch over. But competing, what does a lady asked me that recently. I can't remember who. Somebody said it. Well, what does it mean to compete? What do y'all mean by it? Ain't meant for y'all to understand, ladies. All y'all need to know is who men say is the best. It ain't y'all choice. It ain't y'all opinion. Y'all ain't got nothing to do with it. Men are going to decide amongst themselves who is the leader, who is the fastest, who is the strongest. And y'all pick from those. That's how it's always worked throughout history. Y'all aren't involved in the deliberations. I'm sorry, that's the way it works. Y'all don't pick good. What has the last 50 years taught you? That you don't pick good. Because y'all think all men are equal. Or it's two choices. High value and dusty. That's all y'all understand. There's a whole spectrum that you're missing out on. And I used this example in the past in my teaching. I'm going to keep teaching because those of you who don't watch my videos regularly, you may have missed me saying it before. Okay. Low quality men are 1s, 2s, and 3s. Average value men are 4s, 5s, and 6s. High value men are 8s, 9s, and 10s. Now, your 8s, 9s, and 10s are less than 1%. Let's be real about it. All of those men, 8, 9s, and 10s, are less than 1%. They aren't entertainers. We're going to take out entertainers. We're going to take out athletes. We're going to take out rappers, celebrities. We're not talking about those people. Okay? Most men, most black men, that's what I'm talking about. This may be true for white men too. I'm sure it is. But over here, we're talking to black people. So I don't want to dilute it. I don't want to expand it. I'm staying where I'm at. I'm staying in my lane. We're talking about black men. 54% of black men are single and childless, right? That's your average men. Fours, fives, and sixes. Five is dead center average. Six is slightly above average. Four is below average, slightly below. Okay. So most men, when they start out, they're 18 years old. They're trying to figure their way out. They're trying to figure themselves out. Between that 18, that 18 to the 29 range, they're going to be fours and fives. Most of those men. Most of them, that's where most men going to fall. Right in that average category. At every stage in their life. So when you compare an 18-year-old or a 22-year-old, you don't compare a 22-year-old to a 35, 40-year-old man. They're on two different trajectories. But y'all women like to do that. You got to compare apples to apples to find out where the man ranks. So if this dude is 25 years old and he's got his shit together, you compare him to his peers. Is he on par with his peers or is he above his peers? So maybe that 25-year-old is a 6 amongst his peers. He's above average, right? He may be a Henry, as Kevin used to say, a high earner, not rich yet. He's making good money for a 25-year-old, which is not usual. Usually men don't make money at 25 years old. That's not what men do. That's not how the world is set up for men. Right? But this guy is exceptional. He's doing well for his age. He's ahead of his peers. Right? But see, women, y'all do this. Y'all want what y'all want. So that tends to swing down to the 1s, 2s, and 3s. So y'all end up with a 2. The Pookies and Ray Rays, right? Y'all end up with Pookies and Ray Ray. And Pookie and Ray Ray, they 2s. And y'all just love him to death and he the shit, blah, 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 right? Then you run into a dude who's a 5 or a 6. Say you run into that 6 dude. That means that dude who is a 6 is 3 times better than the dude who's a 2. But y'all can't see it because y'all group everybody together. And y'all tend to go down to the lower quality men because y'all want leverage. Women always want leverage. You always want to come out on top in scenarios. So that leads you to make bad decisions. So you choose that 2 because you got leverage over him. You don't choose the 6. God, he conceited, he arrogant, he think he this and he think he all of that. Y'all always it's always got to be something wrong with him. But he's an above average man. You're an average woman. He's above average. You're average. But instead of appreciating him for putting in the work and becoming above average, you done put him on the same level as that 2. That's Pookie, who you've been dealing with. You can't see any difference between them because you think you know everything. But this ain't about y'all tonight. This is about the men. Because some of these things that I see, the men have foresight, women have insight, right? Let me explain to you, ladies. So I'll see something way before y'all see it. And I'll make a comment. That's just me being an asshole. That's how y'all hear it in your head. But I done already seen where this road is going. And I sit back and watch. I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm gonna sit back and watch. See, maybe I'm wrong about the guy. Right? I've done this plenty of times. Remember, I got 6 sisters. I ain't including my cousins. Got a bunch of cousins that I'm close to. I'm close to these people. I ain't talking about just family I don't know. I'm talking about motherfuckers I know. Yeah, 6 sisters, a bunch of cousins, and I've done this all my life. Low quality men, I've seen them. I remember I was at I'm not a poker game, a spades game at my sister-in-law's house. Coincidentally, she was dating a dude who was the brother of another dude my sister was once dating. So just keep that in mind. We playing spades. This young cat, he younger than me. I mean, I was in my 30s at this point, mid 30s during this game. This dude was like, he ain't even 25 yet, but he hanging with the big dogs, so he getting beside himself. And he started saying slick shit. And all of the other men we was kind of giving him a little leeway. He fresh off the porch. That's what my sister-in-law's husband said. Like, you need to take it easy, man, because you fresh off the porch. Is what what Phil said to the dude. He come bucking back. So I interject. Phil was trying to save this nigga. I said, let me tell you something. We at Phil's house right now. So I'm gonna try to mind my manners. But Phil said what he said to you to keep you from getting knocked the fuck out. Do you not realize this? That's the difference between you being like 20 something and us, or me. I'm the oldest one that's in the house. I'm above 35. I've been off the porch. And you talking real reckless, young man. I knew who he was. He didn't know who I was. I said, I told you what, you better go back and ask your brother, Carlos, who I am. See, I know who you are. You don't know who I am. I met you before. I remember when you was a kid. I know, you know my brother Carlos? Yeah, I know your brother Carlos. More importantly, your brother Carlos knows who I am. Go ask him about me. So he does. Next time we have spades, about a month later, he come up to me, man, I ain't mean to, I had been drinking a little bit too much. I had already forgot about this shit. He come apologize. I had been drinking too much. And, my bad, man. I didn't know you knew my brother. Obviously, you talk to your brother about who I am. So you understand when I say I'm about to punch you in your face, you about to get punched in the face, right? He's like, yeah, my brother told me who you are. Because that was the reputation I had in that town. But whatever, spill milk. But a lot of you dudes, you don't have no credentials. You don't have no resume. That's why Kevin spoke on that. Your LinkedIn job title. A lot of y'all don't even have a LinkedIn page. And if we go to your LinkedIn page, you ain't got no friends on LinkedIn and people you've worked with. That's what LinkedIn is about. So it ain't just your job title. I can see your friend's job title and what position they held and which company they worked for. A lot of y'all don't have that shit. You got LinkedIn entrepreneur. That's why Kevin's pretty much said, not an entrepreneur. Remember, as a salesman, it takes you a good 2 to 5 years to really become a professional salesman, right? That's why I said, if you've been a salesman in any industry for 10 years or more, you are a salesman. That's a different level of sales, right? You don't take jobs worrying about what it pays per hour. You don't give a shit about that. As a salesman, you want to know what the commission is. What's the commission look like here, right? I go take a job selling cars. I don't want to be on the draw system. Pay me my commission. I come in when I want and I sell cars when I want. And I leave. That's how I got to be. When I left selling cars in the late 90s, I was still working for McDonald's. I was the area supervisor at that point. I got promoted. But on my off days and my free time, I sold cars. How did I do that? Because I made my own schedule. I was on commission. So I didn't have to work a certain schedule. When I first started selling cars at Pulliam Ford, it was called the Midnight Store. Right? Shout out to Curtis from the Big DM, my man. Curtis. Anyway, y'all people from the metro down there in Columbia, y'all know who I'm talking about. But anyway, Curtis is my boy. But anyway, Curtis used to do commercials for us at the Big DMs. That's how I met Curtis. One of the greatest radio voices you ever know, man. Great, nice guy, nice guy. Anyway, y'all, I was doing sales in the beginning. I had to work an 8 to 8 schedule or a 12 to 12 schedule. We were in a midnight store. So you either worked, we did an A-B schedule. So if it was an A day for you, you worked 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you were on a B schedule, you worked 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. And yes, you had people coming in there at friggin' midnight buying cars. And we all hate working that midnight schedule because a lot of times people would come in at midnight and you be in there for an hour. You be in there at 1 a.m. trying to finish this deal because only the assholes come in late. Those were the assholes. They always had good credit. They always had money, but they were assholes. They thought that coming in to negotiate at 11:50 p.m. was going to give them some kind of tactical advantage. It did not. Most of the time, it pissed us off. And you were more likely to get a worse deal. But let them think whatever they wanted to think. Right? Let them think whatever they want to think. Because what they didn't understand that by the time you got to 10 o'clock, everything past 10 o'clock was gravy. So if you sold 2 cars that day, you know, hey, remember the average car salesman in this country only sells like about 7 cars a month. Right? That's less than 2 a week. 2 a week would be 8 to 10, right? The average car salesman, and I'm talking about at big car lots. And I worked at a car lot, Pulliam Ford. Anybody who knows, we were the 7th largest Ford dealership in the country. We were number 1 on the East Coast. We sold more cars than anybody on the East Coast. Big dealership, we might have had, hell, I can't even say how many salesmen we had at one time. We might have at our peak 200 or 300 salesmen. Again, remember, we're open 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. So you got to have a lot of staff to cover that kind of schedule. Most car dealerships don't rock like that. Most car dealerships run regular business hours. 9 to 5, 10 to 6, 11 to 7, that kind of thing. Why? Because the finance industry runs that way. So the banks are closing typically 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. So if they're in there doing, the lenders they might stay in their office to 9 o'clock because they're trying to get some of that West Coast business. That's why they stayed open till 9. Okay. So typically after 9 p.m., ain't no more finance offices open, even though they might be in the office cleaning up, finishing up some paperwork, because they're salesmen too. So they're in the office, they might hang out another hour or 2 to get their paperwork done, but they ain't answering the phone. But if you are working at a large dealership like mine, you're calling the bat phone. You ain't calling the regular office number. You're calling the guy who actually approves the deal. Hey man, this Chris over at Pulliam. I sent y'all a deal earlier. I'm trying to get the guy out of here. Man, I was still here, man. I know you here. Like I'm still here. We're trying to get out of here. What's up? All right, man. What's the deal number? And I give him the deal number. Right? Oh yeah, this guy. I was looking at this one. I'm a little iffy on it. Look, man. Approve this deal. The guy's got solid credit. His debt to income ratio is good. He's on the right vehicle. We got this rebate. I'll make it up to you. I'll throw you an easy one later on. The next easy one I get is coming right to you. All right, man, I got you. See, we would do each other favors, right? So y'all don't know how the game works behind the scenes. Is my point. um, but anyway, experienced salesmen, we don't waste people's time. I didn't just do credit reports on people that I knew couldn't buy. Just 9 times out of 10, I could read you up and down. Okay, could read you up and down. It's a skill you develop over time. Okay. Case in point, the owner's son was Hal Ray. See, Pulliam was the public name. It had been around forever, but the true ownership was in the Rays. That's where the money was. So Hal Ray was the owner. Hal Jr. thought he knew everything. He was the owner's son. He would like to come in and flex. And see, I was wondering where I was going with this story. See, this is a lot of y'all. He would like to lead with his money, so he can got a flashy suit on. That's obviously, he's the type of guy. It's a Saturday. He's got a fucking $10,000 suit on, selling cars. Who the fuck believes that? I don't care how good of a car salesman you are. You ain't got no $10,000 suit on in the middle of the fucking summer in Columbia, South Carolina. What did Lou Holtz say? Columbia was the hottest place next to hell. Y'all don't know how hot it gets in Columbia in fucking August. Okay, we out there on the car lot. This guy got a $10,000 suit on. The fuck are you? Where are you going, dickhead? But in his mind, he was the shit. He got a Rolex on. See, a lot of that kind of shit will turn off a customer. A lot of your customers, especially guys who are buying Fords and ladies who are buying Fords, these are working class people. So you throw a Rolex in a working class person's face, they're not impressed by it. They're offended by it. They're offended. So Hal didn't realize he would turn customers off with his $300 haircut, $5,000 suit, $400 shoes. Like, dude, just go buy some regular shit, man. Are you here to be a pretty boy or are you here to sell? He didn't understand the difference. He was leading with his wallet. So I remember I was walking down the ramp one day, going outside because my office was inside. I was doing internet sales. So I was going outside to I like to put my hands on a car. And that means the inventory in the computer is saying this car is here. All right. But before I actually sell it to a customer and tell them to come pick that motherfucker up next week, I want to make sure that car I can physically touch it. We had a lot of inventory. We had multiple car lots. I might have to drive across town to go get that car. I want to know what the car is. Does the car have any dents on it? Did it get banged up while they were moving it? I mean, we parked these cars in tight on the lot, on the overflow lot. So I might have to dig 50 deep to find that car. Whatever. So I'm going out there to find that car. I saw Hal walking past me and said, "Hey, man, how you doing today, Hal?" "Oh, don't worry about them." And he said, "I'm doing good, but don't worry about them customers. I already touched them. They're good." I said, "What you mean?" "Oh, they're just in service. They're waiting for an oil change. You see that contour over there? That's his. He got to leave. He won't be able to get out of it." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be out here anyway. I'll just check in on him." He said, "All right, cool." So I was out there looking for the cars, and I walked by the guy's contour. I had to do a double take. So you've heard me tell this story before on past streams. I had to do a double take. This man's car was so fucking clean. I thought it was one of the new ones we had on the lot. This man's car was freaking immaculate. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how clean this man's car was. So he hadn't even gotten his oil change yet. So I went over there and spoke to him and said, "Hey, how you doing?" He says, "Oh, him and his wife was walking together. Oh, we already spoke to the owner. We're good." I said, "No, I'm coming to ask you about your service. How long have y'all been waiting for the oil?" Oh, we know it's a Saturday and it can take a long time. They told us it's going to be about an hour away. I said, tell you what, I'm the internet. I gave him my business card. Hey, how you doing? And I'm the internet sales manager. And I said, let me speak to my guys in service and see if we can speed that up a little bit. Gave him my card. Anybody that comes to talk to y'all from this point forward, let them know you're working with me. Oh wow, okay. Now they feel important. Like we're special. I walk my ass up to the service department. I said, you know how it is, V. We got a lot of people coming in. I said, I tell you what, I do know how it is. Somebody's gonna miss an appointment today. The next person that misses the appointment, let me know, and I'm gonna move these people into that slot. They say, oh, okay, ain't no problem for us. Cool. I said, just call me on my cell phone. So sure enough, so I go back over to the customer and I tell them, I said, look, people cancel all the time. Somebody's gonna cancel, I guarantee it. And they're gonna move you into that slot. So you're not gonna have to wait an hour before you even get pulled in. We're gonna pull you in earlier. So your car is right here. I don't want you to move it. It's right here. Just leave it here. Give me the keys. As soon as they call me, I'm gonna come over here and move your car myself, and I get you in early. So they're in love with me already. Like, oh, thank you so much. So now I got a relationship with the people, and about 20 minutes go by. Sure enough, my guy in parts. I mean, not in parts. The service calls me, and he says, "Yeah, V, bring that car up." So I pull the car up, and I tell the customer, "Hey, I just took your car back. You're going now." They're like, "Man, that was fast." I said, "Yeah, I told you I take care of it." From here on, anytime you bring your car for an oil change, you call me first. Really? Yeah. Don't call service. Call me, and I'll do what I just did for you anytime. So the guy was a fireman. He was the fire chief of KC, South Carolina, which is just outside of Columbia. And so now I made a friend. I didn't make no money on this guy. I wasn't looking to make money on him. I was trying to, as salesmen believe, and Kevin talked about this too a lot. The way you get what you want is you help enough people get what they want. So I got them what they wanted. They wanted to get in and out quick. Now they feel or they think we owe this guy something. At least listening to me. Now, this is what Hal didn't do. Hal just wanted to sell him a car. When he realized he couldn't sell him a car, he wasn't interested in him anymore. And he's the fucking owner's son. He should have been more concerned about their service. He could have did what I did, probably faster. He could have took his ass over there to the service department and said, "Hey, we got an existing customer. I need y'all. They're a good customer. They've been with us for years. Go ahead and get them done now." He's the owner, fucking owner's son. He could have did that shit. He didn't give a fuck because he wanted to leave with his wallet, show how flashy he was, how nice his suit was, how nice his hair was. And his hair was flawless. I ain't gonna lie. That motherfucking white boy has a nice ass hair. Looked like a fucking movie star every time you see him. Okay? But he wasn't no salesman. He liked to pretend to be a salesman. So, make a long story short, about an hour later, the customer is sitting in my office. He walks by and he gives me the head. Now I come here for a minute. So I walk out, I excuse myself, the customer, and I say, "Hey, why don't y'all go get some popcorn, something to drink? I got to take care of something real quick. I'm gonna check on your car too." So they doing that. I went to go talk to him. He said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I told you they can't buy because they're in the lease." I said, "How? Let me explain something to you. There's a difference between a cashier and a salesman. I'm a salesman. If these people are sitting in front of me, I don't take ups. I work on appointments only. I was at that level. So if these people are sitting in front of me right now, is because I have a deal." He was amazed. He just didn't know what to say because he thought he knew because he was the owner's son, had some money in his pocket that he knew what I knew. I don't sell cars for play. I sell cars because I have a mortgage to pay. I got groceries to buy. I didn't have no kids at the time. I had a girlfriend. I had tuition to pay. That's why I don't have no student loan debt. Okay. What the commission say to Mike? You know, he told him, man, Mike was talking shit to him, to the commission. You know, commission had to get in his ass. Nigga, this ain't no joke. I do this, I pay groceries. I pay mortgages, tuition, alimony. That's what, shout out. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all ever seen Rounders? Huh? Matt Damon Rounders? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Get a 1 in the chat. Make sure y'all still with me. See, a lot of people think, you know, when they drop off, people like to be entertained. People don't like to be educated or edified. See, this time of the stream, y'all think I long stroke y'all for a reason. It's those who are left who get the benefit. Y'all think everything is supposed to be a commercial and you're supposed to learn something in a 30-second slot. That's not how education works. You got to listen to the long lectures. You got to sort through it. You got to chew the meat and spit out the bones, as Kevin would say. Right? Y'all don't have that skill because you're not good students. You've never been a good student. Y'all fall asleep in class. Y'all doze off. Your eyes wander. And that's why when the test comes, you barely pass it. All through your life, you've been that way. Good students make good teachers. But all teachers weren't good students. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So the story, to wrap up that story, and I know I got stories. And I'm giving, and this is the difference between wisdom and experience. See, y'all hear these guys talk shit when they got experience, but they don't have no stories. They don't have no, it's always the same bullshit that you heard from 100 other guys. You've never heard nobody else tell a version of this story that I'm telling right now. Tell me I'm fucking lying. And if they are telling this story, they got it from me. Okay? So, what did I see that Hal didn't see? Yeah, he was on the lease, and typically speaking, if you put somebody in the lease, they're buried in it. Okay? Especially if it's early in the lease. So he had a 3-year lease, and on his Ford Contour, he only had about 2 years onto the lease. So he wasn't like in the last 6 months. He was still had it. I think it might have even been a 4-year lease. It was something weird. So he still had another 2 years left on the lease. So he's right at the midpoint. That didn't matter. You always work the numbers. That's what Goldie told me. That's what Jeff told me all them years before. Always work the numbers. Don't get into your feelings. Don't get into your emotions. Work the math. So that's what I was doing. So I had the car appraised. Remember I got the keys in my pocket? Remember I told them I was going to pull the car around back and slip them in earlier? Y'all ain't peep game. I moved that car before the damn people called me. I moved the car to the other side of the dealership so my appraiser could appraise the car. So when right after the guy finished appraising the car, I took her to get the oil changed. While I was back over there in service, I had pulled up their service history. Every fucking service according to schedule, this man had done at the dealership. I mean, if you look in that book that comes with a new car in the recommended intervals, every last one of them was stamped by the dealership. I had never seen nothing like that. I said, this guy is immaculate. Remember I told you the car was extra clean? He wasn't driving the motherfucker. He was a fire chief for the city of Casey. He drove a city vehicle. That car just sat in the yard most of the time until Saturday when he took his wife shopping. He only drove the motherfucker on Saturdays. He would get up on Saturdays and get the car washed. Wash the car by hand. It stayed in his garage all week. Take it out Saturday, wash the car, and wherever mama had to go shopping, wherever she wanted to go, he chauffeured her ass around. That's what this man did. Had been doing for the last 2 years that he owned his car. Low miles. Low miles. He never missed a payment. I pulled up I went back to my office and pulled, because now I got the VIN number of the car. That's all I need. I got the VIN number. I can pull the car up. I can pull up his whole, he was financing with, as long as he was financing with Ford, I could see his payment history. Never missed a payment. In fact, he paid every payment early. Excellent credit with us. Now, he didn't have great credit overall, but typically to lease a vehicle, you got to have above average credit. He had above average credit. He had perfect credit with Ford. Never missed a payment ever. He was always early. I done called my connect over there, damn financing at Ford Motor Acceptance, Ford Acceptance, or whatever it was called. I called them and said, hey, man, what do I need to do to get this guy out of this lease? They said, the guy, he's got 2 years left on the lease. Why does he want to get out? I tell him the guy's story. So this guy is a fireman. He's a fire chief with the neighboring city here, and he's looking at an F-150. He was like, I tell you what, here's what you need to put him on. Long as it doesn't cross this amount, I'll put him in that motherfucker today. Send him riding. Call me Monday. We'll do the deal. So when I took that car to him after the oil change, I said, hey, remember I had already been talking to him. I wasn't pressuring him, just having conversations. Hey, he's like, I really like them F-150s. So I tell you what, I pulled up his car right next to an F-150, the exact one he wanted, the color he wanted. I said, I tell you what, let me hold on to your car. You take mama out in this F-150, and we'll talk next week. I'll call you Monday. He said, you sure? I'm your guy. Don't worry about it. Take the truck. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about putting gas in. They got a full tank. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna keep your car. I'll put it in the back. It'll be safe. Sure enough, they went. I already knew I got them a deal. When they were sitting at my desk inside, what were they doing? They was filling out the paperwork for a temporary registration. I was putting a dealer tag on their car, on the truck, so they could drive it. I let that motherfucker sell the sizzle, not the steak, young blood. Sell the aroma of the apple pie. I was selling that motherfucking sizzle. I was long stroking this motherfucker. These people was like made for me. And I wanted to stick it to Hal. Hal, remember I told you, Hal only came by on Saturdays. So I made it a point to let them people drive that truck. I already had the deal approved. I let them drive that truck until next Saturday. I let them keep it a week. I got 1,000 of these motherfucking trucks on the lot. On my immediate lot, not even to mention the other ones that are on the rollover lot. I mean, come on, I got plenty of these trucks. It was my discretion. So, and then Hal talking shit. He betting the managers, the other managers, and he ain't gonna sell that car. That guy just wasting his time. I bet you $10. Now, little do I know, my manager had the operations manager said, no, if Van is doing this, he has a reason for doing it. Because he knows if he wastes my fucking time, I'm gonna chew his ass out. So he knows that already. He wouldn't be doing this if he knew he couldn't sell that truck. Trust me. Hal's like, I'll take that bet. Matter of fact, I'll raise you 100. Hal lost $100 to P. So here's what happened. I let them people drive. I called them Monday. I said, hey, how you liking the truck? What if I should tell you what if I could start planting seeds? What if I could let you keep that truck? Get you out of this lease on this new car you got. and your payments would not go up, and you don't have to put no money down. What would you say to that? He had one. He said that sounds perfect. The only thing I don't want to do is lease it again. No, we're not talking about a lease. We're talking about you buying it. So, sure enough, I already knew I could do it. So I tell you what, let me work on this for a couple of days, and I'll have something for you by the end of the week. You know, and my customers already knew I worked on appointments, so I'll call you Friday. So I called him Friday. I said, "Tell you what, I got that deal done for you. Just come in tomorrow, and we'll get the deal done. And if you got anything left in your old car, we'll go ahead and get that out. We'll do all of that Saturday." How did I do it? I worked the numbers. He had low mileage on his lease. He had never missed a payment. He actually had equity in his fucking lease, which is rare. His car appraised for more than it was worth because the mileage was so low and it was in immaculate condition. It was like he didn't drive the motherfucker, but on Saturdays, every now and then. So I knew he had equity. I had already did the appraisal. Everything was done. I had got this deal approved Wednesday. I made it seem like, hey, I've been working on it all week. I did you a favor. I pulled some strings. I got a guy over there, you know, in the finance, and I had him working on this off the books for me. We got it done for you. If you want this truck, and believe me, he been driving around town all fucking week. That was the point. He driving around sizzling. I got his ass sizzling. He driving around KC and Columbia and West Columbia just sizzling all fucking week. He done showed all the other firemen this amazing F-150 quad cab with the damn the big gears on it, the nice rims, the extended cab. Oh man, he done sold everybody, man. It's just, you know, hey, he telling people, hey man, the guy let me borrow the truck. That's why he telling people, no, nigga. I'm selling you the sizzle, not the steak. I'm selling you the aroma of the apple pie. Zig Ziglar, y'all. Shout out to Goldie. Sell the sizzle, young lad. Sell the sizzle. That's me selling the sizzle. I'm doing what Goldie taught me to do. Selling that sizzle. So he had one question for me when he got there Saturday. He said, what's my payments gonna be? I said, what did I tell you? He said, you was gonna keep my payments the same. Well, I didn't keep my promise. He's like, I knew it, Mom. I knew it. Let's go on in here and see what he got. Remember, under promise, over deliver. So I got him thinking I'm gonna give him some bad news. Man, when I went that payment out and it was $20 cheaper than what he had been paying for that Contour, this man was fucking ecstatic. Done deal. That's a solid close right there. How do I know? Because not only did I sell him that truck, I sold his daughter a car, I sold his son-in-law a car, and I sold his son a car. I sold the whole family. I'm their guy now. They don't go to nobody else but me. If you got a problem, you call him. And I tell all my customers that. You don't call the dealership, you call me personally, and I handle it for you. That's salesmanship. I never lied to them about nothing. Always told them the truth. Here's what I'm going to do. Under promise and over deliver every time. Here, let me bring it back around. Some of you men, y'all haven't learned to do this. Y'all over promise with women and you under deliver with women. So you got these avatars. Remember, I talked about that in the beginning. Y'all got these avatars that you've created for yourselves. You're over promising. And then when a woman starts to get to know you, and she starts to meet you, the real you ain't meeting up to this avatar you've created for yourself. Y'all don't get that. And then you wonder why you have difficulties with women. Why women are calling you fake, weak. You ain't that dude. Lies men tell themselves. And these are the lies y'all tell yourselves. I'm just as good as that guy. Because you're comparing yourself to other average men. You're comparing yourself to below average men. You never compare yourself to a higher value man than yourself or a higher quality man than yourself. So you're not measuring yourself completely. I remember I was playing ball in college and out in one of the local courts. And a lot of times we had guys who played overseas. They weren't good enough to go NBA. They didn't have no G League or nothing like that at this time. So a lot of guys went overseas and they would come home during the summers and they would hang out with the local squads. And they would run pickup games with us. You could always tell those guys because their level of skill was different. Their level of skill was different. You had to be honest, like, yo, that dude is nice. You had to be honest about it. Even their physique, you could look at their body, like you could tell, like, this guy is in the gym every day. This guy is fit from toe to head. The whole body is fit. And we ain't talking about somebody got the little jailhouse body. We're talking about an athlete. Dude would look like an international athlete. And you would see these guys. I remember a guy I used to play ball with in Orangeburg, Raji. I can't remember Raji's last name. And I probably wouldn't give it out if I did, but I really honestly, I don't remember it. This dude, I mean, he was about maybe 6'2". So he wasn't a giant guy. So, but he was playing point guard overseas somewhere. You know, I forget where, Italy. I don't know. Who knows? It's 30 years ago, y'all. Come on. But Raji was nice, man. Different kind of athlete. That's who I used to measure my game against. So if I could drop 10 points on him in a pickup game, I thought I did something. Because I'm 5'8". He's 6'2". He already got the advantage over me. And he's a professional athlete. I'm just a McDonald's worker. I'm a McDonald's manager. You know, I'm a college student. So just for me being able to get 10 points on that cat in a 4-on-4 pickup game, shit. I felt like I was doing so. I was measuring myself against him. I didn't measure myself against locals. I measured myself against guys playing on the team. And I remember I came up north one holiday. My cousin was going to Rutgers. And he was like, yo, I called my cousin. I'm like, yo, I'm in town. Yo, V, what up, what up? Yo, I'm down at the gym right now. Come through. So I'm like, all right, I hadn't seen my cousin in a while. So I went down to the gym in Rutgers. And I'm just sitting in the stands, and it was running full court. It was running scrimmages full court. They're basically an A team versus their B team, Rutgers basketball team. So my cousin was playing on the B team, and they had a man that he had to go or twisted an ankle. Well, I don't know. I can't remember. He had to go. They were down a man. So my cousin came over to me and was like, yo, V, you got sneakers? I didn't even have no sneakers. I was in like casual business clothes. At that time, I was working for Radio Shack. So I had khakis and shoes on. So he was like, yo, no, let me go, come with me to my car real quick. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna go get my cousin some sneakers. My cousin gonna run with us. Yo, he could ball. Everybody looking at me. I'm like a Radio Shack man. He's like, yo, he could ball. My cousin was like, trust me, he could ball. He was like, so he gave me some shorts, gave me a tank top, and gave me a pair of sneakers. No, he gave me a pair of his homeboy sneakers. At that time, I was wearing a size 11. My cousin still to this day wears a fucking 9, even though he's taller than me. Fucking weird. He got a little S feet. I got big feet. I wear 12. It was like when I was like a size 10 all through high school and got to college and went up 2 sizes. I'm like, I'm growing the wrong way. I want to grow up, not out. But anyway, so I started balling with these dudes. I'm matched up with the starting point guard from, well, he would like constantly pick me up on defense. He would try to D me up. So I'm just out there having a good time. You know, I'm just happy to, spending time with my cousin. But this little motherfucker, he was about my height. No, he was shorter than me. I'm 5'8". This dude was about 5'6". Started talking shit to me. And then my cousin's like, yo, you don't want to get him going. So my cousin is egging him on. Because my cousin knows what I'm about to do to this dude. I ain't talking shit, but my cousin is talking shit for me. Like, nah, yo, you can't see him, man. I'm scoring like a little bit here and there, but I'm like 100% from the field. I've only taken like 3 shots. I'm 3 for 3. This dude is talking shit to me. He ain't scored on me yet. All right. So my cousin starts talking shit to him. Yo, V, go ahead and give it to him, man. Kill this dude, man. Like, what you waiting for? You know how we do. So I'm like, all right. So he gets me going. I start talking shit to this dude. I'm like, yo, you talking a lot of shit right now for somebody who I'm shooting 100% on. Like, you shouldn't be talking. I got 2 kids. I'm a full-time father. I'm a store manager at Radio Shack. I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, and I'm killing you. You can't guard me. I didn't even show up at the gym with clothes to play. I just got off of work. I've been at work all day. So now everybody's interested in this rivalry. I done dropped like 15 points on this dude. I'm like, yo, you in college, nigga. I'm a grown-ass man out here. I don't even play ball regularly no more. I only game in so y'all can keep playing the game. But now you want to talk shit to me? And I'm killing you. I'm at 100% from the field. I'm putting up NBA numbers on you. And you're a college student. I was like, yo, you a scrub, man. Yo, his team is starting to be down on him. He leaving me wide open at the free throw line. We coming down. He backing off of me because I done dropped a couple of assists. So he trying to back off of me to double down. I'm essentially playing point guard, right? I'm LeBron in this shit because I didn't fill in for a point guard. I filled in for a shooting guard. So I'm really playing the two. We come across the half, dude kicks the ball to me. So now I'm running the offense, right? So I'm setting up assists. I mean, I'm killing this dude. Not only do I got like 15 points, I got like 10 assists. I'm killing this dude. He couldn't see. He couldn't see it. Everybody else could see it. I was a superior athlete to him. In his mind, he couldn't see it. He couldn't see it. We ran 3 scrimmages. This wasn't just one game. This wasn't a fluke. I did this cat for 3 games. I just got off work. I'm selling VCRs and DVD players and shit. That's my job. I don't play ball every day no more. Like I said, I hadn't seen my cousin in a while, even though I was in Jersey. I hadn't even been in Jersey a year. So, and my cousin was in college, so I'm living my life. He living his. We just happened to connect. He was like, yo, you working now? I'm good. Come through. I'm like, where you at? I'm in Rutgers. I ain't no problem. Man, I cooked that nigga, man. I can't remember that little dude's name. I cooked his ass. Competitiveness in me. I was exhausted after that fucking game. After I finished that night with them, that dude ain't want to see me no more. Because I was talking shit to him. I wasn't even talking shit to him. I was talking truth to him. Come on, old man. You ain't got nothing for me. Switch. Going back to the back of the court. He's still talking shit to the motherfucking nothing but net. That was my money spot to the right of the free throw line, right off the top of the key, just inside the 3-point line. That was money. I hit that shot all day long. And I'm crossing this dude up. He underestimated my handles. I'm dishing off. I'm no passing. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm doing crazy shit with people I never even played with. The only person I ever played with was my cousin. We grew up playing ball together. So I know where he at. But I got everybody looking good on the team. They're like, yo, like we need a new point guard. Yeah, y'all do, because this dude is a scrub. Like I'm talking shit to him. He garbage. There's no way I should be doing this to him. I'm telling y'all, I don't play ball regularly. I could tell you it might be months since I played ball, a pickup game. I ain't played organized basketball in years. I'm 5 years older than my cousin. So when I was in college, he was in high school. You see what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't be doing this to you. Killing him. Killing him. I had that old man strength too. I'm posting little dude up. I'm posting him up. I'm a two guard. I'm 5'8". I'm posting this dude up who like 5'6", 5'7". I'm posting him up running a big man game. I got the big man on my team. They feeding me in the post. I'm killing him. Killing him. Oh man. That was one of the best games I ever had too. The best few games. It was just perfect timing. The moon was aligned, something. I don't know what it was. The hormones, the body chemistry, whatever. But this dude had been telling him lies. Dude, you play for Rutgers. Rutgers ain't known for a basketball, not men's basketball. I remember a few years back, they had a great basketball team for girls, but there wasn't a great men's basketball team. They never really went far in any tournament. They're not known for basketball, That's what Rutgers is. Good school, though. Very good school. Cook that dude. But he had been lying to himself that he was just as good as people he went to high school with who went to Duke or went to UNC, and I'm like, dude, they didn't choose you because you weren't as good as them. You went to Rutgers because that was the best you had. You didn't go away to a basketball school because you're not that good. You ain't even go to an HBCU. So you got like historically white schools that are good, like North Carolina, Duke, those kind of like Kentucky, And then you got some people. The next tier is going to be the HBCU. Your South Carolina State, your or your second tier of white schools. Even USC has some good schools, good basketball school, good football teams. So a lot of guys came that route. Benedict, Clemson, not Clemson, but even Clemson in football. Clemson's a little bit more notoriable than the Gamecocks, but same thing. You got that tier. And then you got this other tier of schools that's like state schools. They might be popular in that town, but ain't nobody no Rutgers fan who live in fucking Alabama. You ain't got nobody in Alabama who's a Rutgers fan. You understand what I'm saying? But you might have Alabama fans in New Jersey. If that makes sense. Dude was a scrub, man. But he lied to himself, saying he was better than what he was. And the other dude wasn't as good as he was. They can never see how good somebody else is. That's the lie they tell themselves. I'm just as good as him, or I'm better than him. Or they get vain thoughts. They give themselves credit for unearned achievements. Vain thoughts that the Bible talks about. I'm getting tired, y'all. I'm getting tired. It's getting late. So we hitting that after dark time. What am I gonna do? Wait a minute. We on lives that they tell, teachers and mentors. I'll get into that in a minute. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link though. I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop that link. Let's see if I can do it. Anybody want to come up and talk? I don't know. Angry Man is still here. Snowman. I keep calling Angry Man. It's Angry Snowman. Not Valdez, but the Snowman. We got the Snowman. So let's see if I can drop the link on this crappy ass old phone, this sensitive ass phone that I can barely see. All right. So I got the link copied. So far, so good, y'all. Stay with me. Stay with me. All right. We almost there. We almost there, y'all. Hey, y'all. I don't know if Amanad's with me. I'll have to put y'all to sleep with my long ass stories tonight. but it's method to the madness. I'm trying to make it make sense. Hold on, let me see if I can post a comment. Here we go, post comment. Here we go. Hold on. You getting it? You getting it? Come on. Come on. Uh-oh. Think we got it? Did I drop it? The screen is so finicky, man. I gotta be sensitive. I gotta have a delicate touch. Ah, there we go. I see it now. So, anybody wants to come up? The link has been dropped. Anybody wants to come up? Got something to add? It actually helped me out. I need somebody to come up here and help me out because I need to take a break. And y'all can let y'all riff for a second. I need to blow my nose real good. I've been trying to be polite and blowing it very politely, but I need to really blow it good. Who we got? Got anybody come up yet? So while we waiting, the link is in the chat. While we're waiting for that, we're going to talk about mentors and teachers. All right. And I'm going to give y'all a little bit of scripture. That's what my man, I ain't going to tell y'all who he was, but my man meant by we want that old V back. See, old V would hit y'all with precept upon precept, line upon line, a little bit here and a little bit there. So we're going to bring some of that tonight. A little bit here and a little bit there. I'm on the panel, right? I'm not on the panel. I'm listening to a panel of these fake ass niggas talking. And everybody even said at one point, oh, we all could be pastors. Yeah, y'all could all be a bunch of lying motherfuckers. Yes, you can. I agree with that. But when it comes to this scripture, you don't know what you're talking about. And one of them actually said, oh, here's the way you got to read the Bible. You got to read the whole chapter. That's what niggas have been doing since slavery. And that's why y'all niggas don't understand the Bible. Right? What you talking about, V? That's what my pastor do every Sunday. That's what Pastor Porkchop do. That's what Deacon Clap Cheeks do. Yeah, I know. I grew up in a black church just like y'all did. My grandfather was a deacon, church treasurer. I went to the mosques too. My father's family were Muslim. Mosque 25 or Temple 25 in Newark. So I know both of that shit. Save it. You don't want this work. Y'all don't know, just because you've been reading the Bible the last couple of years of your life, you don't want this work. Trust me. Trying to save y'all. Humble down. You might learn something. Then these ninjas talking about Geno Jenkins up there in Philly with his voice and talking like that and don't know what the fuck he talking about. Because when he did all of that shit talking to IUIC online and they pulled up on him live in Philly, he ain't had nothing to say. He wouldn't even come outside with his punk ass. He did all that shit talking online to the brothers. So when the brothers pulled up on him, hey, let's have this conversation. Let's get to know each other in person. Let's reason together as men. You don't believe me? It's online. This is done years ago. The video is online where they pulled up at the church and Geno lied. Oh, they were hostile and that's not how all talking all this shit. The video ain't show that the brothers were nice. They were interacting with the patrons of the church and other deacons and having good conversations. Geno never brought his punk ass outside. But then the next week, I didn't even know the brothers were out there. Had I known, I would have came out there. But everything you're saying is based on something you heard. So you gonna tell me 1,000 men is standing outside your church and they dressed the same in purple and gold, and nobody came in the church and say, hey, those brothers you've been talking shit to is outside. You gonna tell me that didn't happen? That nice ass church Geno Jenkins got in Philly? You must be out your mind. Y'all niggas be lying. They was asking simple questions. Why do you have church on Sunday? Can you show me in the Bible? That was the question that they were trying to get answered. Nobody from that church, and this is a mega church. This ain't no regular Baptist black church in the South. This is a huge congregation. No, they got 100 deacons, okay? None of them deacons could answer that question. Bishop Nathaniel was there. He was there too. Brothers was in order. They wasn't blocking anybody's way. They weren't violent. They were very polite, and they were in order. The video is online. All you got to do is search for it. IUIC versus Geno Jenkins, or whatever, however you want to put it. Just make sure you got them two names together, or Bishop Nathaniel versus Geno, whatever you want to put, however you want to pull it, it'll come up. The shit is there. But see, y'all hear people and y'all get impressed by people and y'all give people credentials that they don't deserve. Unearned credit. What Geno lying ass? Everybody's an expert till the real expert shows up. And the expert showed up and he ain't have nothing to say. But he had been talking shit for months. So it wasn't like, oh, the brothers was just trying to bully him, or they showed up unprovoked. They had been calling, responding to emails. He was ignoring them. But yet at the same time, he was talking shit. So they got tired of this shit talking, and they blitzed his ass. Okay, no problem. We're going to show up. Brothers drove all the way from fucking Mississippi, as far as Mississippi, to be at that blitz at Geno Jenkins Church up there in Philly. There wasn't no accident. Brothers from all over the country wanted to be there for that because he had been talking so much shit. Because see, that's how my boys do. We'll let y'all talk shit. But when we pull up, don't get mad. We pulled up for Kyrie too, didn't we? Right? Remember that? Kyrie got in a little trouble for sharing that link. That's all he did. Who showed up for Kyrie? Bishop Nathaniel. IUIC showed up and surrounded the Barclays Center and ran them fake Jews off because they was going to come to ambush Kyrie. Geno wasn't there, right? TD Cakes wasn't there. What did they do for Kyrie? What did they do to support the brother? Nothing. But y'all believe Geno. Y'all don't even know who Bishop Nathaniel is. Y'all got to be fucking kidding me. You got to be kidding me. See, that's my point. Y'all love lies. Y'all love people get likes. But y'all ain't looking at people putting credentials in, putting work in. Who, and I ask this question all the time, what other black man in the last 20 years has gotten more black men married, made them husbands, leaders in the community, monogamous marriages? What black man has done more than that than Bishop Nathaniel's? I'll wait. It ain't TD Jakes. It ain't Creflo Dollar. It ain't Derek Jackson. It ain't none of these people. It ain't Geno Jenkins. It ain't none of these people, these fake ass Christians that y'all always want to pull up their name. None of them they ain't got the results. They got, what's their result? People, black men are leaving their churches. The only black men left is old ass ninjas and zesty choir directors. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, y'all. Tell me I'm lying. Y'all don't want to hear the truth. So I'm going to prove my point right now. What did the brother say? The way you got to learn is you got to read the whole, sometimes you got to read the whole chapter. Is that what the Bible gives instructions on how you should get the understanding from the Bible? You weren't taught this in black church because them ninjas don't know. Pastor Pork Chop ain't never said it, and Deacon Clap Cheeks ain't never said it. They too busy selling prayer patties, right? So what does the Bible say? Isaiah 28:9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? That's the questions that's being asked here, right? And here comes the answer. Pay attention. Listen good. Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts. Right? And then it's going to go on and say, for the sake of time, I'm not going to read it verse and verse. Start there and keep reading. It's going to say, precept must be upon precept, line upon line, a little bit here and a little there. That's how you get the understanding. That's how you get knowledge. Line upon line, precept upon precept, a little here and a little there. Right? So what does that mean? I'm going to do it right now. Here's the precept for that. Okay? Now, we're going to jump over to Hebrews 5:12. I put this in the description for those of you who are simple. Okay? For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are becoming such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. There we go again with that milk. You got to get the basics. What did Christ tell us? You got to come to me as a child, not physically. We're talking about mental. Remember, the Bible is written in metaphors and similitudes. So this is a metaphor over and over and over. You got to come to me as a child, right? You got to get rid of that I think I know everything shit that a lot of you dudes have. That's why the Bible was speaking to it. That's why Christ was speaking to it. You got to put that shit. You got need. You should be a teacher, but you got need that you be taught again. Because all of that bullshit that you learned you need to be taught again. You need milk and not strong meat. A lot of y'all, you'll try to get in conversations where you chewing meat. You don't feed meat to babies. You feed milk to babies so they can build up their strength. You can build up yourself spiritually. It takes milk. But a lot of y'all try to skip over that. You're trying to skip. You haven't been competitive. You haven't competed. Okay? You haven't learned these scriptures. Okay? You're not strong in the force. Whatever. You think that's air you're breathing. It's all connected. Y'all think I just ramble this shit off? It's all the same metaphor. Milk, not strong meat. Y'all get in a conversation, then you get frustrated when you ask somebody a question and they gotta explain the answer to you. You get frustrated because it takes longer than you want everything to be a 30-second commercial. You're not ready. You don't have the prerequisite knowledge. So that's why the person got to explain this shit to you. A lot of y'all have never heard these two scriptures that I'm reading to you tonight, but you've been going to church all your fucking life. You don't get it. Who should be made to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned. That means somebody has to wean you. You don't wean yourself. You got to be weaned and drawn from the breast. Put yourself in a childlike state. But y'all can't do that. Well, I read for myself. You got to read for yourself. Please tell me where in education, anywhere on the planet, in history, excuse me, have they You showed up to learn. They gave you a book and no teacher. Please tell me where that's happened. Where has that happened? Where did they give you a book and walk the fuck away? And then you take the test by yourself and you pass? No, you got to have a teacher. You got to be weaned. The Bible is the same way. That's why y'all miss context. Peter says, and then they had another try to quote scripture. I found funny. They were quoting from Peter, so I'm going to come out of Peter off the top of my head. Not even in my notes. What is it? 2 Peter 2 and 3. Speaking. Peter was speaking. Peter was a chief apostle, by the way. Okay. He was aware of what all the other apostles were doing. Okay. So anything they were doing, Peter was aware of it. So he was aware that Paul was sending letters to the northern kingdom. See, this is where you so-called experts on the Bible don't understand the Bible, because y'all never talk about the split in Israel. Israel was split between northern kingdom and southern kingdom, right? Why was that split there? Because northern kingdom, after we got ran out of the Romans ran us out of Jerusalem and we went west, northern kingdom went north, southern kingdom went south. There was a split. God put a separation between us at that time, because northern kingdom wanted to do what the other cultures were doing. They wanted to dress like them. They wanted to practice their customs. They want to do all of the other things. They want to worship other gods. They want to do all the other things, the things that God said not to do. Put no God before me. So he cut them off. He cut them the fuck off. Right? Northern kingdom. That's them other 9 tribes. Right? It's 12 tribes. Southern kingdom was what? Judah and Benjamin. Some of y'all asking, well, that's only 11. Shut the fuck up and listen. The 12th tribe would be Levi. Levi were the priests. So it wasn't until they got cut off by under the occupations, the Babylonian, the Persians, they started running the priest off. Then the priests fled and they joined the southern kingdom. So then southern kingdom became Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Y'all don't have this basic understanding. So y'all are confused by things y'all read. You don't know what you're fucking reading. You don't know how to read, and you don't know what you're reading because you don't understand the context. And this is what Peter was saying. He was talking specifically about Paul's epistles, how they were hard to understand. They were hard to understand for the reason I just stated. You don't understand the context. You don't know history, right? You don't understand who Paul was writing to and why. So you don't get it. Because you've been given white man's religion. You think Paul was writing letters to everybody on the planet. No, he was speaking to Israelites that were living in occupation in the city of Corinth and other places. He wasn't talking to everybody that was living in the city of Corinth. He was talking to the Israelites. Only the Israelites. Because what were the other people doing? What were the pagans amongst us doing? They were worshiping fucking Diana. And at different times, they worship some version of Diana. It depended on what culture and what time period. Before the Nicene Christians, or as we call them, the Roman Catholics, became Roman Catholics, what did they worship? They were Hellenists. They were worshiping Helen, which is another version of Diana. That's what they worshiped before. They always change their religions and shit and steal other people's shit. Y'all don't understand that. You got to have that understanding. You don't know who you are. So when you're reading the Bible, you're trying to read it from a white man's perspective, when the Bible wasn't written for them or by them, or by the Arabs either. The Bible tells you not to follow the ways of the Arabs or the Arabian. But y'all don't know that because you weren't taught that. Nobody weans you. So y'all just get on here and throw random scriptures out and yeah, amen, amen. A bunch of y'all amening each other. You creating an echo chamber. I just read the scriptures to you, word for word. 2 scriptures, precept upon precept, line upon line. A little bit here, a little bit there. I gave y'all that, and I'm giving you the context. And I throw an extra scripture in there. 2 Peter 2 and 3, I believe it is. Hard to understand. He actually, if you start there, that same metaphor is going to come out. Milk and not strong meat. It's not just Paul's letters that were hard, he said, and other things. Why? Because you're unlearned and you're unstable. That's most of y'all. You got Edomite religion in your head, and you're trying to make it make sense, which is also psychologically the illusion of validity. You're trying to fill in the blanks with shit to make it make sense, and it's not gelling. Especially when you run up to people who actually know scripture. That's what I found fascinating. None of you have enough respect to realize what my fucking name means. V. Ben Israel. So y'all, these Bible believers, but you don't know what Ben Israel means? That's why y'all call me V. Ben, because you're fucking ignorant. It's caught on, and I let a lot of y'all do it. But Ben Israel means son of Israel. It's not a middle name, it's part of the last name. Like Bin Laden, meaning son of Laden. Ben Levi, Ben Benjamin. Whenever you see Ben in front of a last name, that means son of. Now, in American culture, we put the son on the end. So if your father's name was John, you're John's son, meaning son of John. At some point, you had an ancestor where your last name came from, that he wasn't a Johnson. His name, he was John. And everybody after him was son of John. That's where those names come from. We just do it in reverse here. But in ancient dialects, that they put it in the front. Ben Israel. V, Ben Israel. V is the son of Israel. That's what it literally translates into. But y'all don't know what y'all think y'all know, and y'all try to jump on here. You're a Padawan one. That's what y'all are. Y'all Padawans. You think you're a Jedi, but you're a Padawan. You haven't learned enough yet. You haven't studied. You haven't competed. You haven't faced your trials, right? Whatever metaphor you want to use. You haven't done shit but go to work. You got a basic ass job. And a lot of y'all haven't spent a decade on your job. You just started doing it in the last few years. You're not even getting into mastery level of any job until you've been there 10 years. Think about you people who have been on your job 5 years or more. Compare yourself to the people just starting your job at the same position. Y'all get so frustrated by them. Like, damn, they don't know shit. You 5 years in, they just starting. They don't know shit. That's what it's like to me. You haven't gone through nothing. You haven't competed. You haven't earned your time on job. So this is why a lot of you men, bringing it back around, landing this plane now, lead with your wallets. You lead with money. You try to flash money in front of women or let people know you got money. If you got money, it will show. You don't have to floss it. People who really have money, it just shows. They move a certain way. But I see y'all dudes, man. I find it funny. And then when women point it out to me, I try not to even say nothing. But I be giggling to myself like, damn. Now she listening to me. Or now they finally getting what I've been saying to them for years. Just watch. 70% of communication is nonverbal. So I don't listen to what y'all say all the time. I watch how y'all move. I watch your facial muscles when y'all up on these panels. The shit that you got 43 muscles in your face. You're unaware of them. That's sales. See, a salesman knows how to read those shits. You got tells. What did I say last time I brought that up? Teddy KGB was talking shit to Mike and eating them Oreo cookies. And then Mike said, oh, I could have kept busting your ass all night. And Mike finally figured out his tell. You better go back and watch that movie. A lot of metaphors in these movies. Y'all miss them. Y'all be missing them. But I'm about to wrap this up, man. You Padawan learns. And that's why I don't have no respect for y'all. Honestly, I just don't. I try to be patient, and I try not to say nothing, and I kind of just try to just sit back. I try to be that cool cat in the corner, sipping my cognac, just watching y'all. That's how I move. But y'all corny, man. Y'all corny ass dudes, and it's predictable. It's almost predictable. And unfortunately, the ladies got insight. They don't see it right away. I've been dropped some shit on them months ago, and they come back to me months later like, how you know? How did you know? I seen it months ago. I just want you to find out on your own. Because if I had said it months ago, you really wouldn't have got it. So I wanted it to be organic and natural when people run into stuff. I've said this to my sisters all the time. I said this to my cousin not too long ago about her baby daddy. Say he's not a father. Oh no, he's not a girl. You grew up with, we had the same grandfather, right? You've been in I've been in your life all your life. You got the nerve to compare him to us. And sure enough, the nigga bounced on her and moved cross country. I said, see, a father wouldn't have done that. Wouldn't have done that. You got 2 kids with you. He really need to be trying to figure out why y'all can't work together. Obviously, sex is not the problem. There's something else that's the problem. Men are problem solvers. Why he ain't solved no problems? Because he ain't a father. Fathers, we solve problems. He didn't want to try to work it out with her. He wanted to just be able to come and take credit for being a good daddy. I'm a good mama. I'm a good daddy. They take pictures on the holidays. They make sure they see them kids on Christmas and Thanksgiving, so they can get they 1 or 2 pictures in for Facebook. And then you don't see nothing all year round. Right? I posted a picture yesterday, one of my memories from my nephew Malik. We've been friends on Facebook for 13 years now, I guess. He's a grown man now. He's right behind Imagine. And I had forgot how many pictures I had taken of this boy. No. But now people try to act like, now that I'm divorced, I wasn't there. I wasn't doing all of this shit, not only for my kids, for my nephews, her nephews too. I'm like, it's funny, ain't it? Here go the pictures. They right here on Facebook. The only other man who was in one of those pictures was her brother. I remember he was doing the cookout. That's the only other time of all of the pictures I had shared over the years that another man even appeared in the pictures. Where the boy daddy at? Where the boy granddaddy at? Well, I mean, where all these other men? Where the men that you was dealing with? Where them niggas at? Why they ain't there at the cookout? I'm not even a blood uncle. But then I asked the question. I wasn't there, huh? I wasn't doing all of this shit all these years. You know how expensive it is to be an uncle? I'm not even talking about one. My kids got a bunch of cousins. You'll see them on those pictures if y'all go look on my Facebook. I just shared the picture. It's there. Real talk. It's there. Some of y'all, you in your feelings. No, I'm just pointing out what happened. I ain't got to be in my feelings to say this thing happened. That's not being in your feelings. Yes, I have feelings. It's fucked up. When I got sick, everybody cut me off. It's fucked up because I was there for everybody. Hospitals, birthdays, teacher visits. Somebody got in trouble in school. I got the calls, not just for my kids. I did all of that for me to be like, oh, you ain't do shit. Really? Who paid for that cookout? You know how much money it take to feed 20 people? Well, last time you been to a cookout where somebody paid for 20 people to eat? Good. Y'all eating steak and shrimp and chicken and got liquor. I mean, I paid for everything. Right? When last time you been to one of them cookouts like that? Old school cookout. When last time? Not never. Not never. But it is what it is. Don't mean I'm in my feelings though. It just means I acknowledge history. Like, y'all funny with that. But y'all niggas, y'all gotta stop lying, man. Y'all lie to yourselves. You lie to y'all act like the women y'all complain about. Because women lie to themselves all the time. Usually the first thing out of a woman's mouth is a lie. And y'all ninjas is acting the same way, and you're getting frustrated. You're getting frustrated because the girls are throwing back your shit back at you. That's what's happening. I remember when we used to play Super Nintendo. One of my favorite games was Mega Man. Oh, I love Mega Man. And when you had to fight all of these bosses. And when you got to the final boss on Mega Man, you had to fight yourself. Everything you did, he did. You shot, he shot first. You jumped, he jumped. Same time. So you like, how do I beat this cat? It was hard. But this is why y'all, it's frustrating. And that's why I see what y'all doing. You're fighting yourself. This is why y'all want to, I'm going to go overseas and find me a different woman, these Western women. I hate that word, Western women. The United States runs the fucking world. We got how many military bases across the globe? It's like 1,000 of them. Go and Google the military, where military bases are located. United States military bases locations. They'll pull up a map. It'll have little red dots. These motherfuckers is everywhere. All of these places y'all think y'all gonna be free from America? Nah, we there too running shit. Y'all just so foolish on how the way the world works. So actually, when you leave and go to the continent, you got less protections. Them Africans ain't protecting y'all. They don't give a fuck about y'all. They never have. And they damn sure ain't gonna let you set up shop in any significance in their country. They don't want to be your friends. See, y'all didn't grow up with them. They've been coming over here since the 90s. And they never tried to be unified with you. They came to compete with you. Now y'all want to go over there. Y'all so naive. Naive. Lying to yourself, telling lies. And then when your lies get exposed, you get in your. That's why a lot of y'all troll. I ain't gotta say nothing. Y'all know who y'all are. I let myself be known every time I go somewhere. Every time I go on somebody's chat, I always pay respects to the chat. I acknowledge the whoever's channel it is. I try to if I'm a moderator, I always share links. When I'm moderating for somebody else, I always share links to spread the love. Y'all niggas just troll me. And then I know y'all be trolling me because little things y'all come back and say. You like punk ass little boys. You ain't man enough to say, hey, here's the issue I got with you. And we talk about it one-on-one. How many times have I invited my platform is open right now. The link has been dropped. Anybody got a problem with me? Let's man up and let's have that conversation. We can go one-on-one and we can do it live in front of everybody else. I did it with my brother, remember? Well, a lot of y'all don't remember, but some of y'all do. I did this and my brother came up. My brother Toya, my youngest brother, came up right after my father died a few years ago. This is on Facebook. That was one of my largest lives I've ever done. It was like 400 people watching live because they had never seen men talk amongst themselves. So no, we're gonna deal with this shit live. You got an issue with me. I hadn't talked to my brother in 15 years. Hey, let's talk live. I ain't got nothing to hide from you. I was walking around um in a hotel parking lot, matter of fact, at that time, because I was using their Wi-Fi while I was talking to him, and I was trying to stay on that Wi-Fi. For whatever reason, I can't remember why else I was on that side of town. But anyway, I think I had started out at the I went to get something to eat. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I went to Waffle House. I was on Queen City Boulevard and Billy Graham Parkway, right on that corner. There's a Waffle House there. There's a Red Roof Inn next door. I was on their Wi-Fi. So when I stepped outside in the parking lot at Waffle House, I was losing the signal. So I ended up walking next door to the Red Roofs parking lot so I could be closer to the signal. That's how I remember being over there. I don't remember it now, but it was like 300 people watching, maybe more. I wasn't even keeping up with it. I know at one point I glanced, it was like over 300 people watching us live. Guess what? I was saying the same shit then as I am now. Same punk ass Bible shit my brother tried to run on me. You don't want to do that. Now we could continue having this conversation, but don't start quoting church shit to me. It's not gonna end well for you. Hmm. See, everybody's about believers in the Bible until the Bible come out, until the scriptures come out. Till you go precept upon precept, line for line. It says precept must be upon precept. Must. That's a must. It's not optional. That's how you get the understanding of the doctrine. That's the Bible giving the instruction to itself. They've never heard that. That's why the pastors don't do it. Told my brother that. Yeah. See, some of y'all don't know. He talking about me. He low key dissing me. Or look, y'all in your fucking feelings. I'm saying the same shit to my brother live in front of 400 people. What was that? 2019? 5 years ago. I tell you, I've been doing this too long. I got the experience. And it's funny how these conversations keep coming back around. Y'all think y'all doing something new. Y'all think you acting like my little brother. Same shit. Because they didn't like I said some shit about our father. What did I say about my father that pissed them off? Oh, our father wasn't shit and didn't raise any of us. Oh, they lost their fucking mind. They still ain't speaking to me. That night was the last night I talked to my brother, by the way. Still ain't spoke to me since then. That conversation I had on Facebook, even though on that video, oh yeah, we're gonna stay in touch. I'm gonna call you. That nigga ain't called me since I gave my number out to him live. He ain't called me since. That was the last night I talked to my brother Tori. It's funny because his wife is on my Facebook page. I don't know if he's still on my face because he was trolling me too. I didn't know until he came up on the live that he even was watching my videos. I was making videos back then. Same type of videos I make now. He claimed to be, oh, I watch your videos. Oh, then you should be in no surprise what you just jumped into. I'm not changing my speech for you. I'm not changing the speech for our bitch ass grandmother. I'm not changing my speech because our father died. The truth is the truth. It don't change. See, I'm really about that life. Y'all pretend, y'all avatars to pretend to be that. But when it comes to checking the people who hurt y'all, the people who in your family, you can't do it. So you ain't got red pill yet. You ain't swallowed that whole pill and started seeing the code until you can start cutting motherfuckers off. You're going to lose people, Christ said. He didn't come to bring peace. He came to bring division. That's what Christ said to you. Hmm. Y'all don't know the Bible. Y'all don't understand Scripture. And because you don't know something, you think somebody else don't know. No, there are people who know things you don't know. There are men who are better than you. If you shut the fuck up and humble down, then maybe you can learn. That there are men better than you. It ain't about money. Money comes and goes. Again, I told the story about me. I was working for Pulliam Ford. There were times I was getting $20,000 checks in a month. I was in my 20s. Hell, early 20. I was like 20 years old making that kind of money. That wasn't normal for other men. I was a homeowner before I turned 20. I bought a house and a car in the same year. I was the exception to the rule. Most guys my age were struggling to buy pizza on campus. They were struggling to buy a bottle of Bones and Farms on the weekends. I was catching planes to Atlanta. I was catching planes to motherfucking Miami. Me and my boys we go to lunch. We go into Olive Garden for lunch. We go into Apple. Back then, Applebee's was something. Applebee's and Red Lobster. We was doing that after work, like that was going to McDonald's for us. We was going to private clubs. One of the private clubs I used to belong to was called the Owner's Box. That was in Columbia. It was a private club. Y'all niggas ain't, you haven't experienced that. You've seen it on TV now, but at the time it wasn't on TV. I was living it. And that experience that I have is different. So when a girl goes out with me, she gets a different experience. Oh, I didn't even know you could order off the menu. I remember I took a girl to PF Chang's and me, I was talking, we was sitting there talking, and what you about to have? I'm about to have some Mugu Galpan is what I said. She looked for it on the menu. She said, what's that? I said, that's basically chicken and mixed vegetables. She's like, well, that's what I like that too. That's what I normally get when I order takeout. But I don't see it on the menu. You sure they got it? Trust me, baby. I got your order for you. You want fried rice or white rice? She's like, well, which one you getting? I said, well, I'm gonna get fried rice, so you get white rice. So we have both. She was like, oh, word, what bet? And she was like, I was like, well, I usually get egg drop soup for my appetizer when I go to PF Chang's. And she was like, yeah, I'm not a fan of egg drop soup. I said, I tell you what, I'm gonna get a big bowl of it. If you don't eat it, I'm gonna take the rest home. But trust me, try it. You're gonna love it. PF Chang's makes the best egg drop soup. But just then when the waiter came and I started talking to the waiter, we really don't need these menus. So, okay, you gonna order off menu? I said, yeah. Let me get 2 Mugu Galpans. With mine, no shrimp. Because they will put shrimp in it too. No shrimp. You know, she may eat shrimp. I don't eat shrimp. Now I want mine just like his, so no shrimp in either one of them. She wants the white rice. I'm gonna have the fried rice, and we're gonna have a big bowl of egg drop soup. Very well. She was impressed that I never had to look at the menu. Me and the waiter had a little thing going. You know, oh, okay, you a regular, yeah. I'm a regular. They like regular customers. So can't remember who that was. I took who was that? Was it Nikki? No, I never took Nikki to no Nikki spot. Nikki, I'm about to embarrass Nikki. I don't know. Nikki on my Facebook, but I don't know if she watches me. Nikki's spot was Waffle House. And I remember the first time I took Nikki to Waffle House. Nikki was one of my models. Well, she was a friend of a model. I ended up doing a photo shoot with her because we was kind of doing a girl on girl thing, and her friend was the model and brought her in. And me and Nikki became friends over the years. So anyway, me and Nikki went out to eat one night. We was at Waffle House, and she was like, "I don't want none of this. I just want scrambled eggs. You think they'll do that for me?" I said, "Yeah, baby. How many eggs you want?" This girl ordered. I think about she at first she's like 10. I said, "You ain't about to eat no 10 eggs now." She ended up eating about 6 though. 6 scrambled eggs with cheese. That's all she wanted, and some toast. Shout out to Nikki, Princess Nicole on my Facebook. Y'all be see again. I got real stories, and Nikki's a dime, by the way. If y'all want to know a dime, she was a model naturally, no makeup, still look good. I mean, she's in her 30s now, but Nikki was naturally. All y'all niggas, oh, I did a dime, and right, okay. I was surrounded by them. I was surrounded by them. Hell, she still on her profile picture uses some of the pictures that I shot years ago of her when she was younger. I think she's prettier now, actually, for my taste. She's matured well. You know, she was younger then. But Nikki's she's thin, she's petite. Y'all know I like the chubby girls. Anyway, but that girl could eat, boy. But she was finicky. She liked to eat what she wanted to eat, and she loved my spaghetti. I remember I was doing a photo shoot. We got snowed in my house, but I had made some spaghetti, and I was like, "You sure you want to?" She just wanted to keep eating the damn spaghetti. I was like, "I could cook other shit. Nah, this, I don't want to put you out. Like, and you got a lot of this spaghetti here." I'm like, "I know, but I can make other shit." Nah, this spaghetti good. Just make me some more noodles. I'm like, okay. And scrambled eggs. She loved them fucking eggs. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Nikki. Y'all don't have no experiences. That's why the stories y'all tell, it's almost the same bullshit other people tell. Just you remixing it. That's all. I'm telling y'all original stories that you've never heard. Unless you heard them from me. These are my stories from my experience. Y'all telling the same story from what did Cat Williams say recently? That's my story. You telling. Steve Harvey wasn't homeless. I was homeless. I remember I told y'all comedians steal from each other. That's what a lot of y'all ninjas do. Y'all just steal stories from each other and write yourselves into them, thinking ain't nobody in today's world. You're gonna get exposed. People gonna do the research. Y'all want to research me? Just scroll down my fucking Facebook timeline. Shit I've been saying is all documented. Documented. I'm really that dude and have been. Y'all ain't got nobody to verify shit. You ain't got nobody to pull up who used to work with you. I got several people. Ain't nobody was in school with you. Nobody knows you. I got plenty of people who went to my alma mater who's still on here. Plenty of people from high school, from college, middle school. Nobody knows y'all niggas. And I won't even live in my own town. My hometown is New Jersey. I'm in Charlotte. But I built such a reputation for myself here. People know me here. Like, yo, that V, that's my dude. Don't nobody got to over exaggerate for me. Oh, that's my guy. That's what they'll say. Oh, yeah, that's my dude. He real. It is what it is. Any side of town. West Charlotte, anywhere on the west, northwest, northeast, east side. I've been everywhere. Only side of town I haven't lived on is the south side. Y'all niggas don't go outside, so y'all don't know what it's like to be outside. Y'all niggas don't even sit in front of your own house. Y'all get out the car, run right in the house. Punk asses. Y'all don't do nothing outside. Y'all just fugazi, man. That's what it is. And you starting to get exposed. As I predicted, what happened. This telephone keyboard stuff y'all be doing is fugazi, and the women see right through it. They may can't describe what they're seeing in layman terms, but they are aware something ain't right. You moving weird. And the older you get, fellas, this is a tip. When you start crossing 35, fellas, your clock is getting short. You got to start speeding up and being decisive and making moves. You got to start making moves. You ain't got time to play no more. This is a fact. And the women that you're dealing with, you can't deal with an older woman the way you deal with a younger woman. Older women have clocks and they're ticking and they're aware of it ticking. It's loud as fuck in their heads. So they don't have time to waste on dudes who wasting time figuring themselves out. And your stories don't match up. How many times have I said this over the years? So, but again, I'm sure somebody's gonna watch me, somebody new to my channel, whatever. Oh, you talking about me? I'm talking about you, him, her, and a lot of y'all. How many times have I said that? I don't even do these videos unless I got 3 of y'all in my mind who fit the damn profile. And a lot of y'all do is just corny. You need milk and not strong meat. Then the sisters be telegraphing shit to y'all and you too slow. You miss out on what the girls be saying to you. Because you in your ego. You be in your ego. You can't humble down. And you think you gotta address everything right there in that moment. You ain't gotta check a girl, you ain't gotta check her every single time immediately. Sometimes you gotta let that shit simmer. And then and remember, praise in public, reprimand in private. Didn't I just tell y'all that about a month ago? You don't know how to do that. That's how you build respect with a woman. Because she know in her head, damn, this nigga could have checked the fuck out of me the other day. But he waited. He waited till I calmed down, and he waited till private to check me. But then you miss out on opportunities to praise your woman in public or the woman in public. Y'all that tells me you don't have experience with women. You might have had one experience with one woman, but you don't have experience, plural, with women, plural. You don't know how they operate. You wasn't paying attention to your big sisters and your cousins and your aunties growing up like I was. And it's funny, y'all become your daddies or your granddaddies. That's what y'all have become. Them solid generation men and them boomer men. That's what y'all have become. Y'all millennials have become those dudes. No pussy getting punk ass motherfuckers. That's what it is. They got experience. Well, I'd rather talk to a guy who's been married 30 years. Why? He picked a woman. He been married to a woman from another time period. One woman from 30 years. He ain't no expert on what's happening in today's world. He been living in a bubble for 30 years. Telling himself he the man. Because that woman got him manipulated and wrapped around her finger. Got him thinking you the big daddy. And as soon as the nigga leaves, she be running shit and cussing him out. Come on, y'all ain't seen this happen. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop. Anybody come up? Let me check. I took my eye off the ball. Hold on. Let me see if anybody wanted to come up. Okay. Nope. I didn't hear nothing. So I'm gonna drop off since nobody wants to come up. And it's an open chat. We can talk about tonight's topic, or whatever. Anything I've said in the past or whatever. But see, now's your opportunity. Because I've been patient lately, and this is what my man meant about that old fee. I used to be on panels and I just get into a motherfucker ass. I ain't waiting. Yeah, I seen you talking shit to me low key. Like, but I had my panel open, you wouldn't come up. But now you trying to shine and flex. See, I would call dudes out. I was known for that shit. And all that telephone keyboard gangster, I done heard it all before. Every which way a nigga supposed to pull up on me. And I'm just as calm, like, hey man, here go my address. You come to Charlotte, here's how you reach me. Let me know when you get here. You want to fight a one-eyed man? You're gonna get your ass whooped by a one-eyed man. No problem, man. Because y'all punks. Y'all ain't never fought nobody in your life. You ain't whooped nobody ass, not never. 99% of y'all. All you do is tough talking. You ain't never been nowhere in public and just smacked the shit out of a nigga. You ain't never did that. You ain't that dude. I got so bad, my family ain't even want to invite me to events sometime. Because I've been smacked the shit out of somebody. Somebody, boyfriend, neighbor, cousin. I just wasn't with that slick talking. Now, most time I got along with everybody, had a good time, great, chill. But every time you always got y'all salty niggas who want to try to make yourselves more than what you are. And you just fresh off the port, so to speak. And this ain't about your age. Because you could be damn 50 years old, just got off the porch. Some of y'all late bloomers. It is what it is. You just really got into your career, whatever the case is. Like, nigga, I was making the money you making now, I was making 20 years ago. These are facts. I got a LinkedIn job title, LinkedIn page. Facts. No, I don't make that money no more. I'm retired. I had to retire. I got sick. So don't compare yourself that's supposed to be in your prime to me that's forced into retirement because of my health. You can't compare the two. Those aren't equal. Compare me when I was kicking ass and when you was doing what? Yeah, exactly. I ain't never drive my mama car. My mama drove my cars. Yeah. The only car I ever drove was my Aunt Joyce's car. That was in high school. When I would go to New Jersey, she throw me the keys to her little Honda Civic. That was a car I drove. Other than that, I've been driving my own shit. Hell, I drove that Mustang for 16 fucking years. Ain't nobody co-signed for me. Ever. Ever. But we ain't the same, man. That's what y'all don't realize. Y'all tried. Damn it, come on. My phone acting up. I'm trying to exit out, but it won't let me. This screen. There you go. There you go. Y'all, we're not the same. And y'all too busy. Y'all average and below average dudes trying to put yourselves into this above average category. And it ain't you. Because if you were above average, it would speak for itself. See, that was the difference. I'm about to tell y'all the story about Hal Ray. He was adopted. His Hal Ray Sr. adopted him. And all of the rich kids in Colombia knew this because they were pedigreed kids. They were blue bloods. They grew up in generational wealth, right? So Hal was treated like he was new money. Even though he was Hal Jr., he was adopted. He just hit the lottery, basically. And the kids who they fathers grew up owning dealerships and the grandfather owned the dealer, they grew up as young men washing cars on that dealership lot. And, they grew up paying their dues. So when they got older, they may have been a salesman a few summers. Then they moved up to, they learned the business the hard way. They didn't respect Hal because Hal was just some rich kid who got lucky that his father owned a dealership. And then when the old man died, Pulliam Ford is gone. There is no more Pulliam Ford no more. They have been selling vehicles like for 100 years. That was, if you lived in Columbia, you know what Pulliam Ford is and what it represented. Hal Jr. fucked it up because he didn't know shit. He didn't know the business. And he never cared to learn it. He wanted to floss and fake it and glitz and glamour and scuffage, right? And this is going to be my last thought. Matt Damon did a movie. What was that movie? Shit. He was a politician, and there was a secret society or angels supposed to be that were trying to prevent him and his girl from getting together because they had a plan for Matt Damon that his character was supposed to follow, but he kept getting off plan to get with this girl, and they kept trying to prevent it. And he was telling a speech his concession speech when he had lost an election, and he was telling them about the tie. This isn't even my tie. They chose it for me because a certain amount of voters, a percentage of voters, find this tie favorable. Then he pulled off his shoe, and even this shoe is the right amount of scuffage. Right? Remember, I told you Hal had on like $300-400 shoes, and that turns people off. But Matt Damon's character was speaking to this, the scuffage. This is the exact amount of scuffage that we paid $3,000 for a survey to tell us what the right amount of scuffage on your shoe would be. So you would be not offending the working class, but accepted by the wealthy class. There's a right amount of scuffage. Hal didn't understand that. Why the fuck would you wear $300 shoes, some Christian Louboutins and shit out on a fucking dealership lot in 90-degree weather in August? Why? In a fucking $5,000 suit? Who does that? That's what a lot of you guys. You lead with your wallets, and it's unnecessary. Girls be wanting simple shit, and they see y'all on how y'all act in this manosphere, how y'all move. It's always money. Y'all throw money around, and it's almost offensive. You don't even realize you're being offensive. You got the money, but you got to constantly show you got the money. I used to see this on Lee's channel. These motherfuckers dropping $50 every time they drop. They can't drop a $2 comment. They got to show off and drop a $50 comment. And then Lee the attorney with his fake ass. A lot of times, they're a high value man. He called everybody to give him $50 a high value man. No, they just got money. And they moving stupid. What about the other things you knew Kevin personally lead? Why don't he get it? Because he was just chasing the money. So anybody get him more than $50 was automatically considered a high value man. Everybody. I'm sorry. That ain't how it works. That ain't how it works. And that's why I like Lee. I think he's entertaining. I think he needs to stay in his realm. I think he's at his best when he's reviewing cases. Like the Johnny Depp case was phenomenal. Some of his best work. But then he starts talking, vouching for people, Zaninga. And we like, this is how you act as a lawyer? Where your source is this fake ass journalist who don't speak English? What journalist in the world don't speak English? I'll wait. You could find a Mexican in Tijuana selling fucking oranges who speak fluent English. But this so-called educated man that's a journalist, international journalist, don't speak no English. The fuck out of here. Are y'all that naive? Are y'all that naive? Maybe it's me. But I'm about to get out of here, man. Y'all don't want to come up and talk? I'm gonna wrap this thing up, man. I think I done beat this horse enough. I hope I have. If I had some questions, I always encourage people to come up and ask them questions, because sometimes things get lost in translation and you don't type it out the way you're thinking. And I want to be able to get understanding before I answer it. So that's why I had dropped a link a while ago. But if nobody's gonna take me up on that offer, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. This is why having mentorship, leadership in your life, ladies, it doesn't necessarily have to be the man. See, you got to be accustomed to being under leadership. And the order was supposed to be your father provided that leadership. So then it comes naturally as you get older and other men provide leadership to you. It becomes natural for you to be accepting of that. But the reason a lot of ladies can't accept leadership is because they've never been in order. They've never been in order. So when they hear a man speaking to them, it's cringy to them. It's like scratching your nails on a chalkboard to them, because men say things differently than women do. And like, y'all, that's your tone, and you offended me. And what did Kevin say to that? Well, who has the correct tone? He would ask women nightly, who is this person that has the correct tone? Finally, one woman said, Umar. He said, you mean that motherfucker that been lying to y'all for 10 years? That's who you want me to speak like? You want me to speak like a liar and not tell you the truth? So I guess you think that's air you're breathing, right? Yeah, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. That's all I got, man. I really don't know what more to say. What more can I say? What more can I say? Is this not why you are here? Are you not entertained? What more can I say? I give this all to you. Right? Remember Jay said that? That Black Album, y'all remember that shit? What more can I say to you? Pound for pound, I'm the best that ever came around here, excluding nobody. Look what I'm a body, the soul of a hustler. I really ran them streets. Right? Don't that fit me? Pound for pound, I'm the best that ever came around here. Excluding nobody. Look what I embody. The soul of a hustler. I really ran them streets. What I tell y'all, these ninjas don't even want to come outside. How many videos? How many lives have I done outside somewhere? Of the 600 plus lives. I ain't cutting up videos and posting videos to get my live count out and making shorts. It's 600 lives. All original content. Minimum. Oh, shout out to all of my subscribers. Recently, the last couple of days, I noticed I finally crossed 300 subscribers. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate it. I believe in building content slowly and quality content. I watch y'all. I be paying attention to y'all lives. Y'all got 10,000 people subscribers, but only 5 people watching you. That's funny. I find that funny. And y'all doing all of the gimmicks and clickbaits. I don't do none of that shit. I don't even follow regular schedule. So whether I go live like this to late at night or I do it in the middle of the day, I be having viewers. Some of y'all overpost. You overflow the feed. Where every time I turn around, I'm getting a notification from y'all. Too much content. It's garbage. You're not saying nothing deep. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. The algorithm is an intelligent algorithm. It's aware of what y'all are doing. So it's adjusting itself accordingly. So yesterday's price is not going to be today's price. And today's price ain't going to be tomorrow's price. Y'all think what worked right after Kevin died is going to work now. It ain't. Why you think Obsidian is stuck where he's stuck? Right? A lot of y'all pay for subscribers too. Now act like y'all don't, but it shows in the metrics. If you know how to look at the metrics. I've had less than 300 subscribers and it had 30, 40 people active in my chats live. I've gone on y'all chats when you got 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, whatever y'all got, and it was 6 people in there. How you explain that? Consistently. If you know, you know, man. But you know, I'm the bad guy. Y'all know that, right? I'm the bad guy. I don't have a problem being that. You know, so, you know, say goodnight to the bad guy, man.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what I make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie.